I don't know, what is that?
You're acting like it's not cold in here, Sharif.
Oh, it is cold in here.
It is cold in here.
It is freezing in here. The only thing that's cold is ice here. We have some pretty cold trades today coming through, that's for sure. Multiple dollars on Google, DraftKings, Nvidia, Tesla all came through. Palantir, our only red stuff. Well, actually, we're red on Palantir and we're red on the futures as well, because we tried this move and it just did not work out. So, all right, man. Yeah, again, thank you so much to everybody. He's ready to rock and roll now. So it's 11:01 and good trading today. Good
you guys
job.
owe us a minute.
Yeah, you guys, or much more than that. But here we go. Back over there. Let's go. Tesla, $2. Nvidia, $2. Google, $2. It's a fun day around here, and I hope you enjoyed yourselves. We're back at 2 p.m. Over to the dudes. Let's go.
Oh, greetings and salutations, beautiful people. Welcome to the Midday Show. That's your boy, Joey Options, and I'm Sharif. And what a morning it has been, baby. The boys were putting on bangers today. Let's wait for everyone to come on over from the other shot. Shout out to Tisha. Tisha, it's a stacked day today. I don't know how you feel, but it's a stacked day in small cap, gap reward. We're going to get to that in a second. The OG Gorev. HITM. I don't know how to say your name, but it looks good. Ayusha Sharma, Racer X9, and Daryl Finch. We got Rev Boost and Pitchbull. How about Joseph Schmo? Ooh. We got Gen AI Apps and Jones Hernandez. Hasham? Is that you? No, my bad. Bart Simpson, Anish, Micah, Mary, Elon Musk. Yes, Elon Musk has returned. We love him. Omega Zero, Map, Dino Abedini, and City Boy 3055. We got, who else, man? Let me get some new names in there. Belinda, Derek Thompson, Big Mike Shake Trading, PC Hoon and Emma, Sonny Littletree, Moonshot. Who else? Ginvesting. Tim is in, baby. We got Sadiq Satar, Marlon, Bob Curran, and JG. Yo, fam, what's back up to you, baby? Who else? The Bird. What do you mean? You giving us the Bird? Joseph, he's giving up the Bird, bro.
The Bird, man.
SJ.
The Bird is the word.
No.
Hey,
Smokey Love and Glass Guy. How about, who else is this, man? Keep going over here. Young Talent the Great. We got Yair Cristobal on the Rail TV. Shout out to Glass Guy and Alex Santana. Off and Beat with Clint Nelson. That's a whole lot of words there, man. Pete Rock. Who else, man? We got the world's greatest mod, The Piper. Haitham, Haisan, and we even have Joe joining his own show. Good morning to everybody. Happy Friday, TJIF. I hope everybody had a fantastic week. You guys got good weather. We got a hell of a weekend here in the Greater Toronto area that we're amped up for. Good morning, Joe.
Oh, yeah, maybe we get some tanning in tomorrow, too. 20 degrees. We'll
tarp off?
It tarp off territory. Hey. That's what we like to call me. But I mean, guys are saying I'm swagging. That's what they call me, swagger, right? So that's what we do there, guys.
I love it.
But I mean, hey, it's been a solid day this morning. Sweeping LH. Man, we're locking in some profits today. It's Friday. I think it's a good time to do so. I mean, everybody's excited in the office as well, too. And I'm just talking with the boys. And when you see everybody kind of around you getting excited, it's time to lock in some money, guys. So go and check your boy out on X right there. I told you guys I closed in some positions. You can see last night there as well, too. We were doing that. A little something. We leave a little bit for a runner as well, too. Just locking in cash there, guys. On that swing position that I've been telling you guys about, that IBIT and NVDA swing. So go follow your boy there on X. Am I
Unity,
sending it to Adara?
Okay, no. You need your Unity. Yeah.
Okay, are we sending it to anybody?
I don't think so. I think we're good. Yeah.
All right, I'm tapped in now, guys. Just give me a little test on the earpiece. I'm logged into Unity. But there you go. Once again, add your boy there on X at TraderTV Joseph. I'm going to start posting my swings all the time. Again, they're not as frequent as day trades, but we'll post those up there regardless, win or lose. So go check that out at TraderTV Joseph. But what did we trade today? Some DKNG, guys. Let's go. So, I mean, here we start off a nice day. A nice indecision print right here on the 1 minute, add to the position. Once the thesis starts working, that's when we start to most definitely add into that. So we doubled up right there, pop, 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 pop. And then we added it right here, but then we got stopped out doing that free roll method that I referred to you guys as. So what happened is I just got stopped out break even, but then we had another 1 minute print that was really, really decisive, and I had to take the additional long, and I will display it here because it is slightly better on this front, Sharif.
Yep.
So this candle right here, boom, nice hammer candle. I told you we want to look for these hammer candles at extreme highs, lows, and just below the volume weighted average price on pullbacks, and we got it. And then we take that move all the way through there on DKNG, my guys.
All right, man, here is what we're looking at. There's a bunch of small cap gappers right now. I'm involved in one NVE trying to hold $3 at the 10 exponential. This one's up 163%, so well extended. Started running right around, I would say, 9 a.m. It had a little bit of volume in the pre-market, not by much. No really definable pre-market high in the pre, but it's going now and been respectful of the 10. But this one is what I'm focusing on right now. PHAT, fatty girl, fatty girl. Neil, remember that one? There you go, baby. There we go. Neil, give me that. Give me the nod there. All right, 367, baby. Taking out the high there. We had a previous high of around 363, so a new area high. This one did breach the volume weighted average price. So it had a nice bull flag looking pattern, a V-shaped retracement, kind of went into no man's lane. It looks like it defended 3, but it actually got way lower than that. It actually hit in the mid 80s there, 285, 286. So I would have been stopped out of this one. I wouldn't have been DCAing below VWAP, but there it is. It's right back into high. So keeping my eye on this one. Definitely like PHAT right now. Let's see if this bad boy runs. WBUY, Tisha, I was in the chat this morning when the big kahunas were on, and you were yelling about WBUY, and rightfully so. Is this an IPO from yesterday? What? No, it's not. What the hell is this, Adara? How come I don't have data from before? Let me just flip. Okay, it's clearly not. I've got plenty of data. For whatever reason, this was missing some data over here. Okay. 2752. Good look here. We can just talk about WBUY in a second after I'm done talking about this small cap grapper. So WBUY, 2752. It's got great higher highs and higher lows, mostly respectful of the volume weighted average price and that 10 EMA. So we'll keep an eye out on that one. RUM as well at the day high, taking out that 10 1/4 on its way to 10 1/3. This one also barely even touched the 10 EMA on the last pullback. It was a 2-candle retracement. Then all hell broke to the high side again, taking out 10. And then OUSD, very bull flaggish, respectful of VWAP. Bottom right of your screen, they're up 26%. SERV as well, looking very similar to SERV and OUST, very similar charts. And then you saw the boys already on Quantum this morning, QBTS, almost 9% in the green here. And the last but not least, CDE, up at 7 1/3. Not really my favorite, only up 5% on the day. Adara, what's up?
This is a weird one here. The story of WBUY. I looked it up. So as of yesterday, it sounds like they were, the way they put it is their listing was reinstated on the NASDAQ. But I'm still seeing on Benzinga updates from them. I'm not seeing they were ever officially delisted. I'm seeing they received a delisting notice back in February, but it looks like they tried to appeal it. I don't have a ton of clarity for you guys. I've been looking into trying to find the history of this, but yeah, only place I'm seeing any data on this. I can't find anything on TradingView, not TradingView, Trade Ideas. This is here on eSignal, it shows up. But yeah, interesting story here. I'm going to continue looking into this WBUY, but apparently they had a successful appeal before the NASDAQ hearings panel, and they've regained full compliance. So hope that helps. I understand it's a little bit confusing, just not a lot of details to be found on this one, guys. Back to you.
Thank you for that, Adara. Always good to add context there. WBUY, guys, as Adara was giving us the information on this one, making new highs. 2860, Joseph. It's above that weird spike area that it had yesterday, right at 7:40 a.m. At least that's what I'm seeing on my chart, taking out 27. It's $1.60 higher than that 27. It's obviously a bit more expensive of these small cap gapper style names. Let me give you the information on it super quick before we see what Joseph's doing over there. $22.5 million market cap with about 16 1/5 million shares traded on the day with a 5.8 million share float. And let's find out what Trade Ideas has to say about the short float. Nothing doing there, can't see it, but the float, the actual amount of shares, trade idea is fundamentally diverging from mine, saying 57 million, not 5.8. So a bit of a different look there, Joseph.
Yeah, good look there, guys. Tesla, Katina Man's back in some Tesla, I believe, here for that long side, and I really like that trade here, guys, just off of these specific candles right there. So I mentioned it's identical to what we just seen here on DraftKings, but you can see the multiple holds. I mean, that would be attempt one. You get stopped out at the break of it, or if you gave it a wider stop, which would be more ideal, then you're still sitting in that trade. But this indecision print on the 1 minute right there, if I seen that slightly earlier, I would have looked to get involved on that front. But a really nice move here on Tesla. Shut up, Brankles. Printing on that as well too. But yeah, really good stuff there. I like this move here. But we need Nvidia to continue to climb. We are rejecting. What is it, around 117 roughly? And I just got out, right? I posted on X just the amount of open interest through that 119, 120. So I'm happy with locking in some profits and closing some contracts on that front. So good stuff there. Go check out that post there on X. But Sharif,
yes, sir.
I know you've been waiting for this.
Okay.
Been waiting for this for a long time.
Hold on. You can just bring it in like that, man. We got to preface it, man.
Okay, what do you want?
You got to preface it.
How are we doing that?
I don't know. You caught me off guard.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole thing, man. That's the thing. Never let them know your next move. Never let them
show them the video.
Never let them know your next.
Show them the
move,
video,
guys.
Joseph.
If you want to see,
you got to show them both videos at the same time.
If you want to see the hottest TikTok out right now, this is it right there. Never let them know your next move.
By the way.
Even Sharif didn't even know where I was getting at this one.
I had no idea.
We'll play it back.
He's going to run it in orange,
We're going to start it up
He's
one
on
more
an
time.
orange.
We're going to fire it back here one more time. Bang. Never let them know your next move.
I wouldn't have guessed.
Ever. And Sharif didn't even know what I was getting at.
I have no idea. He puts it in the microwave. He goes onto the desk. I had no idea what was going to happen here. That orange very much surprised me. I had no idea it was going to feature in the video.
Never let them know your next move, my guy. That's just how we roll, right? You don't know what's coming next. Unpredictability is what we are aiming for, and we're having a good time. So go check that one out on TikTok. Ramin and I had a good time shooting it yesterday.
Man, interesting stuff there. Yes, I see you guys talking about better than Netflix. Absolutely. Yeah. We got more information about the. Speaking of TikToks, that's why I'm kind of bringing this up. More information about what is being said at the Meta trial. This time it has a lot to do with TikTok. We'll be getting to that once we do the news, once things settle down a little bit, guys. So make sure to look out for that. More in the saga of the FTC versus Meta. We need like a segment for that because it's going to be on for a while. All right, guys, I'm involved in NVE right now. NVE, excuse me, wet the beak there at 10s, layering the orders all the way up into 20s. It's holding 3. It's got a bunch of bottoming tail candles that break the 10 EMA and also break 3, but they're always closing above it. And for the most part, we've got some higher lows. Alas, we're not really blowing through that 3 level. We're kind of hanging out at it. So I'm really unsure what to make of this. I've layered my orders and put in my stops. So come what may, and we'll keep an eye out it. I'm obviously trying to get into Fatty Girl over here, but it's not it's at the high of the day, 378. We're not really getting much of a retracement. If I was to punch in, I'm literally punching in at the high of the day on a small cap gapper. It doesn't feel right to me. So I'm looking for a pullback into 3.5. Possibly into about 3 1/3 where VWAP is right now. But here comes yet another attempt at the high of the day right now on 378. What a move by Fatty Girl, up into 63% now. That's not the only one running though. So let's talk about WBUY because I'm interested in this one as well. Another stock, more expensive, as I mentioned early on, that's been very respectful of the 10 EMA. It's got, wow, man, it's got the 10 EMA here is at 25.40. It's trading at 26.70. So this thing needs to lose $1 for me to get printed. So we're going to go and give this one the old community college try. We're going to wait over here. I'm going to try get the money fill maybe at 25.69. We'll throw that out there. That shadows the 10 EMA. It's a little bit actually higher than the 10 EMA. So I'm looking at that. Rum as well. Rumble. Good day for Rumble. Again, another one that's been very respectful of the 10 EMA. It had a kind of a 2-candle, 3-candle pullback right around 10:30, and we're getting a 2-candle pullback right now. into about $10. The 10 EMA on this one is about 993. So maybe the money fills on rum are a little south of 10. Let's give that one the old community college try. I'm going to sit at 96s because the op is 69, and we'll see exactly what we get there. So a couple of dip trades right now. One on WBUY, one on rum, and then we're involved in NVVE. So let's see how these trades all go. Joseph Wilson.
Yeah, good look there, brother. So yeah, DLV asked me about DKNG. Yeah, I'm looking to get back into this, but I don't want to buy the top of the range. One thing that is looking relatively well here is that's Palantir. Just want to stick with the strongest names, and I think this is one of the strongest stocks in the market right now. So there you go. We're breaking above the volume-weighted average price. Wait for this pullback in any form of indecision. I have it up on my secondary screen here as well, too, just to see what's going on. Just in case it's one of those days where we're rejecting VWAP and we want to keep price below it. What we want to see is that volume obviously start to pick up here, guys, and hold it. But the tape really weak. You can, well, not really. I shouldn't say really weak, but you can see some weakness displayed within that tape. But yeah, just back to this DKNG. It was just essentially a tape play. And just using the options chain as potential targets here. So I stepped away from my desk, but at 38, I knew 38 was probably going to be our ceiling roughly around today on DKNG, just from the option, what the options chain was displaying me. 38, we had, I think it was like 30,000 open contracts or something along those lines relative to what else was that size along different other strikes. It was the highest level. So I'm like, all right, and anything above 37, and then you get into that mid 37 level, look to start piecing some more out, and that's exactly what we had going on. So a really nice look. And then we also were referring to that NVDA, those call walls there at 119, 120. Now that all these contracts expire this week, let's see where they roll over to, all right? So we're going to document this here, guys. You can see 119, 120, 92, and 92. This was actually significantly higher yesterday. It was around 103, so you can see some positions being closed on that front and a lot of volume between these two strike prices right there. So the objective is here, guys, is that now that we notice that we have these high levels of OI at 119, 120, we want to wait until that rollover until next weekend, and we want to see if these strikes are going to be slightly lifted, right? So if we go 121 or 122, or anything like that, that's where we want to focus on those high levels of those concentrations of open interest. And that's what happened before. I mentioned we had it through the teens. 16, 17 were the highest levels of OI a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and then now they've been lifted. So that's a positive sign. But it just makes the stock more grindy, right? So you can see we're up one day, we're down the next day, we're sideways the next. But then you get these gaps up, that positive catalyst comes out, you squeeze through some key levels, and that's what happens. But yeah, that's why I think that can justify why we're seeing a little bit of overhead resistance here in NVDA, and look what our high is as well too. So right at that 119, 120, 118.21 roughly, and then you can see we reject relatively strong. So that's through the whole post market right there. I'll pull up my the 5-minute time frame, and then yeah, so throughout this whole week, right, just 119.51, we couldn't really break through those levels, and you can see it being highly respected. So keep an eye out on those. I'm posting them on an X, and yeah, thank you guys all for the followers. I'm going to continue to just post the chain and whatever else we're cooking up here, Sharif.
All right, just throwing in some orders on our friend Serve. It just got into the volume weighted average price, so I'm giving this one an attempt here with a tight stop below the break of 70. Simple as that. So we'll see how this one ends up acting. All right, so we're involved in that one. Involved in rum now, looking for a hold of around that $0.25. So I'm involved in that. Let's see if we can get a move back above 10. WBUY, we just got the fill. Okay, so where did we get the fill on WBUY? We got it at 225.69. So we're well in the money already. And I knew this was going to be the case because this one, you could tell the money fills. We're going to be in and around that area. There we go. Already a 25 penny banger. Let's see if we can get some more on WBUY right now as it's dropping down a little bit here. So let's see if we can extract the profits while they're still around. So I'm going to layer my orders for a pop back up through the key levels over here on WBUY. It's more expensive, guys, so be careful with this one. You know, they're around for a good time, not a long time. I always talk about that. There we go. It just took out all my orders. It just literally took out all my orders in one single move, bro. 272%. What a move here on WBUY. Thank you, Adair. I appreciate that. Where are we long, Joseph? We're long 69s, as I've mentioned, and we just got the beak wet there at 45. So not a bad look. Now it's back into the 30s. So let's go ahead and wait right around that dollar area. We're going to wait around here. We'll see if we can get something in and around mid-60s on WBUY. Now, simultaneously, let's talk about the good ones. This is a good one. Let's also talk about the bad ones. Full disclosure up in this, you know what? NWVE lost the 10 EMA. That was my out. We get stopped out. That's a loss for me. I was able to get the beak wet quickly there for one out, but the majority of the position, an L. Simple as that. So now we're keeping an eye on NVVE for a pullback into around 255. That's where the volume weighted average price is. I'm going to set up an order to front run that by a couple of shekels. Let's go ahead and wait here. So we're going to give that one the old community college try as well. How's my friend Rum doing? All right, so WBUY is okay. Rum, we're kind of break even on at the moment. In fact, we're exactly break even. Looking for a move above 10 here. Rum is this trade is based on a hold of the general area of 10 or the 10 EMA, the $10 area or the 10 exponential moving average. They're essentially overlapping, separated by a couple of pennies. So I like when that happens typically because it doesn't make me try to guess, oh, should I be looking at the psychological area of support at the $10 area, or should I be looking at the technical moving average for support? So when they overlap, it makes my job a little bit easier there. So, and then now the other bad one, because we had a couple of bad ones, a couple of good ones. SERV got into this one at the volume weighted average price. It lost VWAP. I got stopped out for 7 pennies. Simple as that. We're going to keep it tight. We're going to look to the trades that are making the moves, and we're not going to dollar cost average into an oblivion. So continuing to hold. WBUY, have moved up my stop now to break even. In fact, I lied. I didn't. Let's go ahead and move it into break even. There we go. So now we're up into break even, and there it goes. It already lost a bit. So we get stopped out, break even for the last little amount there on WBUY. Still interested on this one. If it loses the 10, I'm looking deeper to about $21. That's where VWAP is for WBUY. If it holds up there, I'm a buyer. Joseph.
Nice, good look there. Rum looking neat there. Sharif, hey, you get that one. We got that one neat. Yeah, you drink. I guess I like to drink my spirits neat. To be honest with you.
Likewise, when I drink, which is not much these days.
Or you can throw a rock or two in there, and I'm okay with it. Yeah, just to kind of.
Not a bad idea. I just don't like it dilutes it.
Yeah, but that's the reason why I like it, because you can just.
There you go.
Right.
Neat, whiskey neat, room temperature.
Room temperature,
right?
Room temperature, yeah.
Okay.
That's how we rock. That's how you gotta get the room temperature stuff there. But yeah, I mean, let's go, guys. I mean, market is starting to pull back in here. I was looking for that long on Palantir, but I'm glad I didn't just punch right in. You can see that I have a specific trend line drawn on it, and it kind of rejected that, so that's a positive sign. Oh, actually, not really a positive sign for the longs, but it might be a choppy day. I mean, look at this move that Palantir has been putting in, guys, and I was thinking, I was just doing some basic TA, and I'm like, did we double top on Palantir for now? It's been a nice rally back. I like what Katina Man was saying this morning as well, too. I mean, we're 20% off of those lows, so if you want to call it back into bull market, I just don't think the overall effect of these tariffs are still looming. It's a nice cover rally. Can we continue to climb higher? Absolutely, and that's why we leave things for runners. But as for my swing, guys, go check it out. Locked in a bunch of profits here this morning and last night as well too. So yeah, we're happy with that, and we'll just leave it. If this market does want to continue to rally, then we're going to be positioned relatively well on those swings. So we like that. But here you can see, guys, on Palantir, that steady downtrend, and now we rejected almost to a T, heading back towards the low of the day. But we got some key support levels that we want to crack through before we run into those levels. But here, let's take a look at the chain too to see. Okay, it's like, why at 120 are we continuously rejecting on Palantir? So that's what we look for. We look for supply zones, and you can see that we have we have a small supply zone right there at 120. So it's relatively or I guess it's significantly larger than everything other than that next highest strike, which is 130, and I don't think we're going to get to there by the end of the day. Anything can happen, but you can see just the size difference from where we're sitting at and that 120 strike, and that's what you want to aim out for. Like if all these contracts are like 3,000, 4,000, whatever, and then you have an outlying strike with 25,000, 30,000, then look for that for potential overhead resistance, and then you can base a short, or if it's on the opposite side, if it's on the put side, you can just base a long off of that as well too. Just wait for the price action to tell you to get in, and then you'll be able to cook up from that using that definitive strike as your stop loss too. So, all right, guys, yeah, Palantir really starting to come in here. Bitcoin as well. What a monstrous run. I was walking my dog last night, and I just pulled out my phone, and I'm like 104. You and I said 100 by the end of the week, and we got that.
Oh, yeah.
Where's Pizza Rat?
yeah.
Pizza Rat's not in the
Who
chat.
said
I got to
that?
add that.
What did he say?
No, it's my guy. I'm like, hey, dude. He's like, do you think we can get to 100,000? He's like, I think we get there by June. I'm like, my God, we can get there by the end of the day. We're only that was when it was trading at 97,000. Sure. We were only 3,000 from that target, and now we put a little bit more in, trading it with a high of 104. And I mentioned multiple times, it's nothing for Bitcoin to put in those $7,000, $8,000 sessions, and that's exactly what we seen displayed yesterday. Sure.
Yes, absolutely, man. All right, shout out to my man Bovin. Dip buy on Darwin, you're trading small caps? What's going on over there, Darwin, bro? Yeah, Adair says, get it, Darwin. All right, so Darwin was just about to talk about the one I was going to talk about, STYA. Shout out to my man Bovin for pointing this one out. But Bovin, as I mentioned to you in the chat, you know how I feel about these ones. That's what that yellow line is right on the top right of your screen, or the top of your screen, my chart there, is the alert for the possible taking of that pre-market high. So this one really had its best trade, I would submit to you guys, in the pre-market right around 8:30. That's when you got the big boy breakout. There's the bull flag. Alas, it did not hold. And it's now zigging and zagging with VWAP a little higher, a little lower. My situation with this one is that it's got lower highs. So there's many things wrong with this one. The lower highs displeases me greatly. The descending wedge also displeases me. The fact that we're not above the pre-market high, the fact that the volume weighted average price on the chart looks like a line of best fit rather than an area support or resistance. So needless to say, I'm very displeased here with many components of this chart. I'm exaggerating for effect. I hope everybody gets that. Let's throw in the ticker over here so we can follow along. So long story short, Bovin, I'm waiting for that area to trigger. The high I see there, $2.27. It's a great looking chart. It's up big on the day, about 81 some odd percent. So we'll keep an eye on it, Bovin. All right, we're doing it live here on RUM. We wet the beak. Let's wet the beak again because we took a bit more shares here. So a couple ads into that level. Boom. All right, let's set up some more. Thank you guys. All right, get it, Adara. Adara had a banger on MSTR today. Adara, are you going to show that banger on Happening Now? Hey. Get ready for a very, very good trade there. Yeah, it is what it is, Adara. So, all right, we're taking out some levels over here on RUM as it zigs and zags south of 10. Here it is again. We just got printed, Joseph. Let's set up. That was like the most disinterested let's go ever.
But did you see what I was doing?
Bro.
Yeah,
I know you were yawning, my boy.
That's me just
chuckling,
cheering, man.
You know,
like, yeah, let's go, man. Let's go, bang.
All right, so we're setting up north of 10 now. Here it is. Let's do it live right now. We're setting up north of 10, and we're going to do 10:08 as well. Uh-oh. Fatty girl just came into VWAP. Where's my fatty girl trade? All right, there we go. So let's get some into fatty girl right now. We're going to boom into 33s. All right, what's the deal here?
What is it?
The deal is, Joseph, it's got to hold 320. All right? So the situation is this holds 320, we stay in it. Doesn't, we're out. Simple as that. Let's set up some orders now for some possible beak wetters on the way up. And then we'll set up in the mid 40s as well. So keeping an eye on all these trades, baby. Let's go. We're moving up into 36s. Can we get 37s? We're at 37 right now. It's got to cross to get the fill. We know what the situation is with the spread. Boom. No boom there. Not yet. Ozan is back. Stop the show. Where is the e-signal ad? You got the e-signal ad?
Just read it. Just read it. Yeah,
no,
you should
we
read it.
Can't do that.
They can't do that?
No. They only pay
e-signal. Trade smarter, not harder. You know what I mean?
Love it. All right, guys. So that's the situation we're involved in right now.
There's my twin right there.
Who?
Raheem,
Chilean Nightmare? Oh, Raheem, my man, Raheem, bro.
Dressed up.
Oh, yeah. You guys are dressed up to these. Do you think he's Mr. Shivers as well?
I bet you he gets cold, man.
Let's ask him.
Ask him. Yeah.
Raheem, brother, do you find it cold in here? It's a little chilly. Oh,
my guy.
Come on, Raheem.
My guy.
Raheem Alani, everybody.
I'm born here, but I'm African by blood.
Yeah,
He's African by blood, so he's naturally cold.
Insane, man.
Uganda or Tanzania?
Tanzania.
Boom. Yeah, bang. Here we go.
I just know, right? I just know.
So, with that in mind, I'm just generally. I'm not built for this.
I know, Sam.
He says, if you
that's
can't hear
me.
what he's saying, he says he's generally cold. He's not
Yeah.
built for this weather. Joseph loves it right now
I
because
love I'm a heat guy.
he wears a jacket and like a suit
Yeah, I'm
jacket,
a
and
heat
as you
guy.
can see over here, into work. So I'm like, Joseph, what's going on? It's kind of like a casual thing. He's like, I get cold.
Yeah.
So I had to give him the name Mr. Shivers, Raheem.
Shivers, man.
Right?
I got a lot of
As long as
friends
I
now.
hit a shiver on the sell button.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what we were doing this morning. Shivering over there,
Exactly, right?
locking
As
in
long
the
as you're
money.
not.
Yeah.
He doesn't do that. That's my
Yeah.
specialty right there, the
Hey,
fat
man,
figure.
It is what it is.
How's everything going?
All good.
Everything's good?
Everyone's good. Got
Everybody's
Friday.
good, man. Friday.
Chaotic.
It always is, man. It's going to get more chaotic once the construction starts. You see the boys in the back working?
Looking forward to the new
Yeah.
studio.
Likewise.
Make sure everyone tunes in when we're all set up.
There we
There you
go.
go. There you go. Raheem
The
Alani,
Leafs killing
baby.
it as well too.
I'm a Habs fan.
Oh my.
He's a Montreal fan.
Oh my God.
Oh
What
boy.
happened?
Oh boy.
What
To the
happened?
city of Toronto. It's good for
What happened?
So go Leafs, go. We need the money to come in here.
Yeah,
Okay?
we need the money. There we go.
Canadian.
There you go.
There we go.
I love it, Raheem.
That's crazy.
And I missed the Derby preview last week, so I apologize, everybody.
That's okay.
But I'll be back on Wednesday, and I'll do a Preakness update. Get you guys ready for the big race.
Pumped about it.
Again, the big
I hope everyone is able to hear him. He said he missed the Derby, but now he's going to come back. He's going to get us ready, for the big race. Shout out to him, Raheem Alani, making a cameo Friday appearance. Thursday's his day,
big-
but
big appearance.
Raheem's always welcome anytime he's around here, baby. All right, Mr. Shivers is a low-key fire name. They're loving it, Joseph. They're loving it. What is that?
I don't know. Someone asked, "Where's the orange note?"
Oh, don't let them know your next move, Joseph.
Oh, yeah, I can't
Don't
let
let them
them-
know your next move. There you go, my man. Bro, you're a sick actor, bro, and you go with it. You're sick like that. I love it. I love it. Joseph Wilson.
Let's
All right,
go.
man, we're doing it live here. We're taking prints on all three of these trades, guys. NVVE, we're exacting some revenge to the high side over now on this one now, looking good. RUM, we're taking out all these levels on RUM, still sell to 10, but we got a nice one on this one. And while Raheem was dropping said hotlines, we took a whole bunch of prints here on Fatty Girl right up into the upside, still holding a piece, still waiting for that mid 40 and that 50 print. Alas, we'll pack our patience, see what we get. Joseph.
Yeah, good look there. Charles Zhang, yeah, I agree with you, man. That's why I closed some positions. I'm going to ride some IBIT calls, to be honest with you. But as for NVDA calls, got out of those. Happy with that move. I had the 110s out of money. So just lock that in. But I'm going to ride this Bitcoin wave. And I do believe that we're going to continue to move higher. Unless this is going to be a total fake out. I know Michael Noss was talking about this earlier in the morning, guys, if you were paying attention. And he was just talking about this consolidation phase. I know this is IBIT. But essentially what I was looking at, he was looking at this breakout here. But I was focused on the break of this channel, and then that's when I started to just slowly start to allocate some shares, and then I bought some contracts as well too, waiting for those dip buys, and then we got that extended move. But I mentioned, I think this is going to be the move where we go and test those all-time highs. I mean, from what we're seeing today is a solid breath. We're not going to get too worried about this just yet. We might even come back in and test this 54 range, but I do believe that this is going to be that breakout move, considering the consolidation phases that we've been through. And Michael also touched on that as well too, saying, okay, yeah, we go like 8 months consolidating, and then we out of nowhere, out of the blue, we essentially almost double in price. I get 33%, 40%. And then we consolidate once again, pull back, and then it's like boom. Once we crack that downtrend, we're starting to put in those $6,000-$7,000 days that I obviously talk about quite often. So that's a good look. If we reject this 61 here, that's going to be the all-time high there on Bitcoin, around 109, 108, whatever you would like to call it. Then we might have to be alarmed. But until that point, we can obviously take some profits up there, see how everything's worked. But the all-time high break, I think, is a solid strategy, especially when you see something break out like this here, Sharif, and that momentum and the volume stepping in. That is a totally healthy breakout, and I'm glad to see that here in Bitcoin.
Well said, Joseph. All right, Fatty girl, we're still waiting, man. It's got two bottoming tail candles off a predictable area of support. I'm talking about that volume weighted average price. That's the only reason I punched into Fatty or PHAT at that level. Now what I'm waiting for is the first 5-minute candle to make a new high, and we are not getting that, okay? So those prints over here at 45 and 48 or 49, excuse me, going unfilled for now. So I'm keeping my eye on this one, cautiously optimistic that these hammer candles may mean that we're encountering some buying at the volume weighted average price sufficient enough to make this one print a new 5-minute candle to make a new high. Simultaneously, we're taking more prints here on RUM as I am getting concerned that that $10 level will not be breached. So yeah, RUM right here. I'm going to take another beak wetter there just to de-risk. And then WBUY is really losing the bid. It broke the 20, it broke the 10, but we've been out of that for a while. Back to NVVE over here, looking for a break of 3. So you're getting some weakness now in these small cap gappers. They're not making the higher highs and higher lows that they were making before. So these retracements off key technical levels could be just momentary bounces, and then we could lose them. That's what I feel is happening right now on NWVE, RUM, and PHAT. That's why I'm taking some more out, despite the fact that I don't really want to, right? So NVE, I only have one beak wetter left on this one. So this one either triggers a profit taker or I get stopped out of that one. RUM, we're going to have to take this one out here if it goes down anymore because it rejected 10, and on RUM, we still have some shares, quite frankly. So anything below the 70 penny area, we will lose about 9 pennies per share on the remaining amount there. I don't mind punching back into Rumble, though, at the volume weighted average price, which is around 56, okay, give or take. That level. So keeping my eye on RUM, looking for it to hold up here, but if it doesn't, that's fine with me. We'll look to do a little bit better on the next trade. Keeping my eye on PHAT as well. It's got a 5 candle red setup. So printed the high day of 378, and since that time, it has had 5 red candles. Now, mind you, 2 of those 5 red candles are bottoming tail candles, which means buyers were picking it up off that key predictable area of the volume weighted average price, but that's, yeah, it's okay, but I am still a little bit concerned about it. Keeping my eye here on RUM. If it breaches that 69 level, we're going to have to get out, Joseph. So keeping an eye on that one. And then back to NVVE. It's moving right back above into 3. So we'll see if we can get that 298 print that I've been waiting for there. So that's what I'm looking at. Those are the 3 positions that I'm in. How's Donkey Kong?
Yeah, you seen? Oh, yeah, I just tapped into that
my
there,
bad.
my guy. Yeah,
No,
no.
I didn't even know.
I thought, yeah, I'm like, how'd you know? I thought you seen the screen there. DKNG.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Oh, is that
I
what you
didn't know
seen?
you just got into it.
Oh, yeah, I just got right back into it. Yeah, I mean, we were trading this earlier on the day, guys. We're looking for these lows to hold. If we crack that, we're going to start obviously really small, and then you see that I just add into the positions once they start working. So here we go. What is that? We're risking about 20 cents. We'll call it on that front, 30 cents on this low. If it cracks that, then maybe we'll look for a re-entry. So Gaurav, just to answer your question, I'm back into something that's been working for me. You want to stick to your guns, and if the trades worked before, take another stab at it to see if it's going to work again. I do like this 5-minute print on Tesla here, though. That's a pretty nice indecision print. Your risk profile is defined on that front, so I might hop in there via TSLA and see what's cooking up here with Tesla because it's been on an absolute monster run. I mean, with this big move here, let's zoom in here and see what we got going on. Sorry, zoom out and see what we got going on. And I forget who it was. Someone had either some shares or some Tesla calls, and I said, look where we're sitting, right? Like, we want to be patient, and if we crack this, then start to take some profit as you break through some of these key resistance zones. So that individual, I think it was earlier in the week or last week when we were talking about it, I said, if you reject it, then take some profit off. But again, we're at that key resistance. We broke through it. It's a technical breakout on the day. So look to take some profit. I think this is a good opportunity to do so. Can Tesla continue to climb higher? Absolutely, but there's nothing wrong within this current market to start locking in some cash, right? You want to have that cash. Full disclosure as well, too. I actually liquidated my second largest holding in my long-term portfolio, and that's Google. Yeah, Google, I am completely out. Cortina Man might have convinced me a little bit, but I also, like, now I'm sitting on some nicely cash, and I'm happy to
It feels good, though,
Yeah,
no?
exactly, because I believe there's going to be plenty of opportunities to buy some more good quality stocks here, especially in this current market environment. So,
Joseph, can you talk a little bit as to why you got out of Google? Just some of your thinking.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what people are,
Okay.
Yeah.
So one, that Apple deal, right? That everything
said.
that's going on with Apple, it just added some more.
That's 50 billion right off the bat.
Boom,
That's
right off the boom, 50 billion right off the bat. But I mean, that's not a good look.
No.
I mean, there's still a lot going for the company, but I've also been sitting in the position for over a year, and I've seen it go from almost like 100% return to almost break even. So that's just, again, just kind of portfolio management along with what's going on with that. So I don't know if that was the word that you were looking for, but that's essentially what I'm doing on is portfolio management. And I think there's going to be opportunity. I think there's some good chances that we can find some nice growing stocks that have great fundamentals. I mean, I'm looking for those names. I'm not a value investor whatsoever. I want quality companies that are at discounts. Right? Is Google one of them? Maybe, possibly, but I've been sitting in this trade for a significant amount of time. It goes from a 23 PE to an 18 PE, right? Yeah. Continuing to decay there on the forward outlook there. So that's kind of just my thesis, but I also want to grab some more Bitcoin. Why? Because we're going on this move. I'm just following the likes of Michael Saylor. This guy's happy. Of Michael Saylor, BlackRock, Grayscale, Cathie Woods, all these massive investors. That's who I'm just following. I'm following the money, and a lot of it seems to be going into this new asset. Well, I shouldn't call it new, but this developing. What is it? The funds are the larger funds are still going are looking to get involved. Institutional money is the exact word I'm looking for.
Yes, sir.
So, and we still don't have mass adoption from an institutional standpoint. No. I think there's a lot of room for it to grow on.
Well said, man. Yeah. I happen to agree with that. And I told you today that, what's it called? Well, not today. We were talking about yesterday about my concern about the lack of service revenue that's going to be coming into Apple now. If it still hasn't happened, though, guys, if that contract between Google and Apple gets the kibosh put on it, that's 50 billion right there. That's not going to be included in the service revenue. That's about a quarter of their service revenue, a little bit more. It's an interesting look, one to definitely be aware of if you're invested or you're swinging these stocks. So keep that in mind. All right, let's talk about these stocks that I'm in right now. NVVE, we did it live here. We got some revenge. We started 0 for 1. On NWVE, we're now 1 for 1. So got back in, got break even on this name, most notably. So happy about that. Looking to do a little bit better, but I'm out because it is putting in lower highs. So it failed 3. It had an attempt at 3 there that was kind of ill-fated. So keeping my eye out on that. WBUY consolidative here at this 20. Why is it showing me weird decimal places on the side on a stock that is not south of $1? Look at this.
What's it doing?
Why is it showing me decimal places on the side? That's so weird. Look at over here, it doesn't do that. Here it does. Bizarre, huh?
Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna have to change that. Anyway, WBUY, very consolidative. South of 25 though, most notably. I'm waiting for this one to have a decided trend change to start curling back up into 26. If I start seeing those higher highs and higher lows, not just this consolidation, WBUY is of big interest to me. RUM, we got back into that, wetting the beak all the way up there. Alas, it is still putting in lower highs and lower lows. So there we go. I got back into this one because it did dip into VWAP, so I had a resting order there, and we printed 3 out of the 5 prints. We still have a couple of more on this one that are going unprinted. I'm going to take it out here, and then I'll only have 1 left. And now I'm going to move up my stop to 9.59. And it'll have to hold the 6 penny level, otherwise I want no smoke. So simple as that. Fat continues to do really good, man. Fatty girl, I knew you were gonna be the one. This one, we ended up taking yet another print to the high side there at 46. The only one that's still gone unprinted is that 48 print on Fatty girl. So I've moved up my stop to break even on this one. So if it does come and breach the volume weighted average price, sorry guys, I can talk, I swear. I will be out of this one. Shout out to my man, Skull NXXT. Skull, NXXT. That's why I loaded up the wrong one, brother. And I was like, what is this guy looking at? All right, let's load it up now. Good call out, Skull. South of $1 is NXXT, but it's got a big boy breakout, as you can see there. Look at this parabolic movement. I'm not seeing a reason why it's moving, so I have no idea. Nothing to report on there, but it is moving nonetheless, so it's a technical break at least. Okay, let me just throw in the ticker over there for you guys. 75 pennies as it works its way closer to that dollar area. We know it's different north and south of a dollar. So NXTT has earned its way onto the side chart. It's just going to be about who we take off right now. And the SERV has just lost its spot. So we're going to go ahead and put that one, and we're going to insert over here so we can keep an eye on it. NXTT. There it is. Uh-oh, there's a super chat. Man, I didn't even see that. The snapper. Sharif, remind us about the B-Day bet. Did you win? Well, no. Not yet. My birthday is on the 25th, right, of May. So, what's today? The 9th. We got 16 days. 16 days. Look, Joseph, I got to tell you the truth. A couple of months ago,
it wasn't looking good for you.
It wasn't looking good at all. We're dropping into 75, right? We're hanging out at 80s. I'm like, all right, well, this bet's done. We got into 80. We got into the high 80s. All of a sudden, we're the low 90s. We're mid 90s. We're 100.
Like, dude, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I told you. I think it's going to be significantly closer than what we think.
No, I think you were right on that one.
Right?
I thought, maybe we take a little bit of a hiatus while the whole tariff thing gets figured out. Once the tariffs are, and then he's got some deals under his belt, then we could start accumulating it. Didn't even wait for the tariff.
Didn't even wait.
Deals, bro. The market front runs everything.
Exactly. So I think the next week or so is going to be really important for this specific bet between you and I, Sharif. If we have the ability within a week or so to crack that all-time highs, I think you're looking pretty good. And I think that at that point, the odds may change and slightly might go in your favor.
That's what I'm looking at. Yeah. Like, do you think we hit a triple top, at least initially?
No, I don't. No. I could be totally wrong. I don't, just because I'll go back to just I'm just sticking to the same thing,
Fair.
right?
Yeah.
I guess I'll die with this. We got a good quote up here from somebody as well too.
Go ahead.
But I'm sticking to the thesis that the accumulation phases were long. We get that move. We go back into another kind of consolidation phase, pull back, and then now going back for that move. That's just going off of basic TA. I don't think we double top or triple top there as we're referring to. We may, but I don't think it's going to be continued. Like, I think it's either we might get that retest of the level and then break out of it, but we want to see that momentum and everything.
Let me show you why I'm even asking you that.
The ETH.
Let me show you why I'm even asking you that. Assassino, look at this, brother.
Assassino.
Once, twice, Obi freaking thrice.
Yeah, but
I know it ain't the same. I'm not trying to compare them. I'm not trying to compare them.
For sure.
But it's happened. Now, when we used to do the lessons on these reversal patterns, Joseph, the triple top known as a very, very, very rare pattern.
Yeah, there you go. So if it triple tops, then I guess boom, it's just like, all right, start to take some profit up there if we even get up into that realm. But here's a really good quote from Mando Man. I don't know if it's directed at me or anything along those lines, but regardless, I liked it. We learn something new every day, but still die dumb. Stay humble and enjoy. I like that one.
Stay humble, bro.
Stay humble.
I like to pretend that I'm not that dumb, but I'd like to be able to stay humble in any circumstance, any time. So I have to agree with that. 100%,
is getting excited about something and something that you've kind of established and created, is that I guess being kind of egotistical, or I don't know, we get excited.
I see. I mean, it really depends on your look there. I mean, 1 second here. I just got into position.
Okay, so I'm going to continue on this conversation a little bit. I'm a hockey guy, right? So I use the word we. I don't use I a lot, right? When and hopefully if you guys notice that, I like to use the word we, right? Because work as a team, as a collective unit, and I'm not out here to be like I think it's just not me. But we like to do certain things, right? And again, if we get excited about trading and locking in profits, you just got to understand the nature of the beast, I think. Trading can be extremely difficult, mental taxing. So when, big respect there, Neil. So when we accomplish something, we get excited, and I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with it. You just don't want to be rubbing it in people's face. I think that's where you kind of lose that humility aspect, right? Again, we get excited, we're having fun, we're doing it here with you guys, but at the end of the day, we're not being like, haha, look what I've done, you suck, and all that stuff. No, that's not what we're here to do. We're here to enjoy ourselves, and then if we hit big trades, then we like to celebrate, and I kind of leave it at that.
All right, man. Let's see what everybody else is talking about there in the chat. Jay Lee, Sharif, JBDI is squeezing. Time to get in. Could easily see $2. Thoughts? Please bring it up. You missed like 20 cents of this since I mentioned it. Sorry about that, Jay. You know how it is, man. Like, we've got a zillion things to do up on the big desk. I do apologize. Let's have a look at JBDI for the OG Jay Lee. All right. So first of all, the daily chart is what it is. Yeah, we don't hold these for a long time. We're into it for a day trade. All right, Jay, I like it. I like the pattern. I don't like the volume. Jay, what's the volume on this one? We've done about 1.2 million shares on a dollar name, Jay, but I do like that breakout. So your idea about that $1.25 money, and then look back. It comes back in and tests that $1.25 money. So good look on you there, Jay. But I'm going to have to say that this one is a little bit light on volume for my liking. But I see your point. I could be interested at that $1.25 if it comes in again. That $1.25 was a pre-market high that got taken out. It was also an after-market high that we used yesterday, so that could be interesting. It also was kind of a little bit 1 penny or so above the volume-weighted average price, so could find some support there. I like it, Jay. I'm going to keep it up on the side chart. Let me know how you're trading it, what your move is, like what tactics you're looking to employ on this bad boy. I'm going to keep my eye out on that for everybody. I'm also keeping my eye out here on NXXT. Oh, NVVE is coming in, so I'm not even in this, but I'm interested for a VWAP trade. So just a second here while I set up a possible dip trade here on our friend NVVE at 256. So let's go ahead and wait there for a possible VWAP bounce. I'm thinking, yeah, let's go ahead and wait over here. So we're going to wait there at 259. Let's see if we can get some money fills at 259 for some shares over here. We'll see what we get, and we will not get upset. Let's go now over to NXXT. I'm just trying to see which one we're going to take off. There we go. NXTT. Excuse me, guys. I keep saying that incorrectly. We're double top here at about 78 pennies, technically 7775. VWAP on this bad boy is around 65, 66 pennies, with the previous bar low at around 67, 68 pennies or so. So I like the look of this one, but I think we may have topped out, seeing that we've got 3 topping tail candles now, with the candle that closed on the 5-minute chart at 11:45 being a candle of indecision. So I'm really unsure how to execute at these levels. I'll wait for a pullback before getting in, but it's on the trading screen now, so we'll certainly be interested in that. So that's what I'm looking at, guys. Still in RUM, break even currently, but it's holding VWAP. Still in FAT, looking for FAT to take out that 3.5. It's holding VWAP quite well as well. I'm talking about PHAT. Where is my chart there? PHAT, there it is. And RUM over here. Still holding a smidgen of that. Looking for that one to move back up, Joseph.
Yeah, good luck there. Excuse me, guys. Okay, so Jedi, 500 Dominican pesos.
Wow.
Thank you for that one, my friend. What's your opinion in the most anticipated Nvidia earnings and the market buzz variable? It has been punished in the last 3 earnings. Nonetheless, the market has pulled it down. I like this. We all know what's going on with the H20, how that may affect the earnings. I think it was like a $4 billion haircut they might possibly see on that. But I still think with the CapEx from some of these large from these hyperscalers, Sharif, it's just so large that NVIDIA is going to be one of the primary beneficiaries of that. So again, we just have to be patient, wait and see. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be taking a look at the options chain to see what those calls are telling me. Where are the highest levels of open interest? And I'm going to keep it that simple. I'm not going to dive deep into the fundamentals because I necessarily don't know that much about them. I know the company's still growing at a fantastic rate. Now we have that new that news that we heard the other night about the chips as well. And then the H20 thing might be the largest concern possibly for NVIDIA. But other than that, I'm going to be patient and just follow the technicals and see what it tells us come that report, because it is very much anticipated. And we will most definitely be bringing it to you guys live. I'm sure Sharif is going to be covering that one, and I'm going to be definitely trading it throughout that day as well. So what I was thinking full disclosures that we just continue this rally into the earnings report, and then after that, it's just you got to wait until that volatility steps in and to see where that brings you guys. But yeah, here we go. Let's get into some of these trades here. Still 10K open interest on TQs at 60. Sports and stocks. All right, I'll take a look at that there. Good look there. So we're still sitting in this DKNG trade, grabbing off these bottoms. My target is the volume weighted average price, but you can see that we're just running into some overhead resistance, and we just can't crack and hold it just yet. So we'll have to be patient. If it's going to be a slow grind and the market continues to move higher and higher, and we have the ability to sit on top of VWAP in the SPY, Qs, and some of these other big names, I think eventually DKNG is going to start to participate on that front. We're still positive about 2.5% here on the session, but we're not going to piece any out until we hit that VWAP level or just slightly below it. So we do have another 30 cents to go before we start to look to take some profits. Really small in this run. I don't think I'm going to add to this because it is more of a slow grinder. I want to look for that momentum style trade, and I'm just not getting that right now in DKNG, Sharif.
All right, we just punched into NXXT as it's on the breakout right now, guys. But you know how these ones are, they're thickly traded. We're taking shares here. Okay, so there we go. We're breaking out. Nice look here on NXTT. Let's set up at 88s as well. There we go. We're going to set up there. And we're looking for a continuation. So the high of the day right now, 87, 88. I've got 82s on, showing me 85s. We'll wet the beak there. Let's go NXTT. Sorry, guys. I don't know why I'm insistent on saying NXX, but yeah, it's just my brain is farting today. It's like fart coin, bro. Here we go. Let's go. Take out some more. Shout out to Michael Noss, baby. We love the Noss boss around these parts, and we love what's that guy's name? Skull. Shout out to Skull, man.
Skull.
Thank you for bringing out that, telling me about NXTT. Still waiting for 88s to get taken out. We still got, we still got some shares on here, man. So we're going to take out some more as this one weasels up into 86. Good look here. I'm also back into WBUY, and I got some nice prints there. It's hard to see on the 5, guys, but it did squeeze up above 5. Got a bunch of prints to the high side there, so keeping my eye on that one. Back to NXTT. Here's the deal. We got 2 pennies on 82. So, right, what we're going to do is we're going to set up at 79 for a stop, right? And that's going to be the situation. So this one drops below 79. We're Gonzino. There's 87. Ooh. There's 88. Freaking bang, bro. Let's go. All right, these penny stocks, baby, they be doing things. There it is, Joseph, into the high of the day again. We still got a couple of outs on this one. So let's set up mid-90s. What's going on back there? What are they doing? They're destroying the place, aren't they?
A whole lot of going on.
You just know they're going to be destroying this. So apparently, I was talking to your friend Randy back there.
Yeah, my guy.
And,
that's your guy, too?
Yeah.
Our
Of course, right? Our guy. You know what I mean, though.
Yeah.
Everything is going to get crazy on the 20th. Apparently, the contractors are all going to be here. They're going to rip up the flooring, and they're going to be sanding down the concrete. Madness.
Hit the Studio 8 button. There we go. Hey, look at that. I didn't even have to say anything.
This is what's going to happen. Obi's head's going to get crushed. Neil's going to fall into 2 pieces. Play it one more time. Play it one more time. Can we do that one more time? There it is. Watch your friend Neil. Neil just collapses there, bro.
He's gone.
Poor guy. Everyone else's fly says Neil, except him. The most damage onto your friend Neil there.
Neil took the most damage.
Your friend Neil got destroyed there.
Later.
Emotional damage.
Yeah,
all right, here we go. We're doing it live here, Joseph. Here comes 95. Boom! There goes 95. Where are my 98s at? Let's go, baby. We're 96.5 now. Can we pass 97? All right, we're waiting for 97. We'll wait, no problem. Up into the mid 96s. Good look here for NX double freaking T into 98s.
And
bang.
Oh.
Yeah, subdued.
Right,
not a bad one there. That's a big boy breakout. Shout out to your friend Skull. Single-handedly, the reason I even got into this one. Took 20 pennies on a dollar name. Not too bad right now, guys. Didn't have the biggest share size ever, but not bad look in any event. Thank you, Adair. I do appreciate you. I think everybody's waiting for that MSTR trade. Make sure to pay attention as Adara will be showing you her strategy trade during happening now, but in about a couple of minutes. So make sure you are paying attention. Joseph.
Strategy. I want to know the strategy on that one too, for sure. So, bang. But that's all right, guys. Yeah, let's continue to sit in this DKNG until we crack this specific base that I was referring to. I think this trade can continue to work, and that's what we want to see if this market continue to climb. But we're going to need these big boys to start participating. I haven't looked at Meta or anything today, Sharif, so I want to pull that up and see what Meta's been up to. I have that Ethereum ETF up on my far screen, but that thing is not very liquid whatsoever.
No, it's not.
So, yeah, it's not liquid at all. And I mean, Meta's not overly liquid either, Sharif. Like, look at this 1 minute chart. This is horrible, if you ask me. And then look at the pre-market here. Like,
yeah, it's nasty.
For one of the best trading, like, I don't know.
Joseph,
yeah.
Look at this.
What?
So the oil makes new lows, right? The barrel, I guess it's above 60 today, but you know where it's been.
Yeah.
55, 56, 57. It would make sense that we're at multi-year lows, and then gas prices to be going up all over Canada.
Yeah,
it makes sense,
what else?
I mean, I wouldn't
What
expect
isn't
any
going
different.
up?
I think oil prices go low, gas prices go high. Any other reasonable person would think the exact same thing. I can't wait to put gas this weekend.
My tank's already full. Bang.
Oh,
Let's go.
this guy's just dunking on me, bro.
Don't worry,
It's dunking on me.
My tank's already full, brother. So there we go. I took the train actually.
Did you?
All this week,
that's
right?
good look,
But I mean, it takes me a little bit longer on the train, but you kind of get you get dialed in, right?
You get chilled, though.
You get chilled, right? You know what I
Don't
mean? I
fight
don't have
people on the
to.
street.
You don't have to. Yeah, you just got to
Brake
watch out
check
for
people.
Yeah, you don't got to
right?
do that.
No,
You
none
call
of
them
that.
out at the red light, and then they run. Right? You don't got it.
There's
You know what I
nothing.
mean?
There's no story to this, by the way.
no story.
Don't ask any questions.
Don't ask.
Right,
That's all we know. We don't want anybody knowing too much here. Never ask
Jared
anybody.
says, never ask
ask.
questions. Just take
Yeah.
it at face value, guys.
Speak and don't speak.
Oh, boy.
But
Oh,
all right,
boy.
guys. Yeah, let's get into this DKNG. This consolidation phase, I like this. If we slowly start to curl over in these 3620s, maybe we can add. I know I just finished saying I won't add to this position, but there is an opportunity. I believe that can happen, especially if we get this curl over around these key support levels. That can be a good add up into the weighted average price. But guys, we're going to see a Dara's hot trade here momentarily. It's happening now, and then Neil's lesson of the day.
Sorry about that. My mic just having a little bit of a war with my shirt. But you know what's also having a war right now is the S&P 500. And that war is, do we go green or do we go red? Right now, we're basically flat. If you look back here, though, in the 15-minute chart, starting yesterday, some slightly lower highs to be had here on that S&P 500. So many names to talk about. We had a lot of earnings plays, but understandably, some of these earnings plays got forgotten in the great Tesla battle with 300. Here is TTD, though. TTD had a really strong look here initially off of earnings. Decent guidance, too, if I remember correctly. Here is Tesla now making lower highs, lower lows. But this morning, this one was the belle of the ball as it broke above 300 for the first time since late February 2025. So great look here for TSLA. Also, just want to take a moment here to plug. This is a new post here on X at TTD Research. Because we have so many Fed speakers today, I want to take a look at how many times we've really gotten each of the Fed governors this year. I didn't include the Fed presidents because there's not really a clear database for them, and they also talk a lot more frequently. But for the Fed governors, these are the highest ranking levels of the Fed and Fed Chair Jerome Powell. They do talk fairly frequently. Vice Chair of Supervision, if she gets confirmed here, Michelle Bowman tends to talk the most. And this is the MSTR trade. Now it doesn't look quite as good now, obviously dropped a lot more. But I got, of course, here with this double top and the prior bar break on the 3-minute. This is the short. This is actually fat finger here at this ad. But it worked out, didn't move anything, moved the stop here. Then we get this break below VWAP. We get one more ad. Still risking to this level of this 427. I think the average is probably around 427s at this point, early, because I had more shares here than either of these. 427s, mid 426. We get the drop, first piece of profit here on some of this, I guess, pre-market support. Arguably took this out too early. Another piece out around 420, 415, and then stopped out here on the prior bar high around 418. Obviously continued to drop, but this is the trade. Definitely left some on the table, but because it was asked for, I wanted to show off this chart here. And yeah, check out X at TTV Research if you want market-related infographics and fun content. But in the meantime, we have our friend Neil, and I think he may have his lesson of the day, potentially. So take it away, Neil, and Wayne, maybe. Back to you.
Oh, and he runs away. Obi doesn't mind sticking around. Wayne just took off. The second he realized he's about to be on camera, Wayne just absolutely bolts stage left, one of the floor managers here on the trading floor. Mostly remote traders now, but oh, there he is in the background. Yeah, shout out to Wayne. Look, lesson of the day today, and it's something that someone was asking me about levels, and we'll talk about QBTS because I think it was a good one. But think about it this way. One of the things that we like the most is pull back into prior resistance as a trader or support. And they like it too. And I know Obi likes this, and I know Wayne likes it as well. And a lot of momentum traders are going to like it. And it just comes down to what is the most simple thing you can ever find on a chart. And it's going to be a price significant area that is obvious and that you've already seen and respected. And then you look for it in the other direction, right? So Nvidia, like Y115, like I had it on my note pre-market. Sean had it on his note as well at 115. Why? Because we all saw the Liberation Day bottom and then rejection of 115 and rejection of 115 over and over and over again at 115. So when it's pulling back in, like what's that spot? Well, by the way, I just trailed out of the long. Oh no, and I tried to get short and I didn't get it. That's not fair. Okay, well, there's a trend break on Nvidia there. I just trailed out of the long and I didn't get that short. So it is what it is. But the pullback into 115 gives you your best up move into that prior resistance. And that's the kind of thing that you want to look for. Now, is it the sort of thing that works every single time? I'm not going to here to tell you it's going to work every single time. But when you fill in a gap, a prior area of liquidity is going to be a good place to look for. And we'll go to QBTS as well. It doesn't just come down to big levels on the daily chart. It could be something as simple as the day before, like QBTS. There's your high at 1080. It double topped that level. Go out to the daily chart. Yeah, there's some overhead resistance in here as well, some prior highs. But this is just about the next day. Like I wasn't long QBTS early. And we kind of talked about trying to join it off VWAP when it wasn't getting down there. But what does it give you? Pull back into prior day high, confluence it with VWAP, and you're good to go. Now, is it going to break out the high of the day? This market is suggesting that maybe they don't want to, the way that we're pulling back in here, but it gives you a level that you will like for more than one reason potentially. And on top of that, it gives you a level where if you have to stop out, there's always more likely to be liquidity at a level where there was big interest before than any random level out there, like a line on a chart. So we like those types of things to play off of. Now, is it guaranteed to work? I don't think so. But if you're going to wonder, like, why in the world would you be? Look at this random price in Marworth trying to bounce off of at 14.8. So why am I long Mara there? It might stop out. Oh, looky. Look at that daily chart. Look at this top on Mara since late March. Right back into the prior high. So that's when I'm looking for a bounce, the second it bounced off there, went into the long in the 90s. I mean, ideally could have a price in the 80s instead of the 90s, but that's what we're looking for. Now, it might not work. This one's not looking that great, and the market is pulling back rather heavily. But if you get a setup like that works 2 out of 3, you should be happy with it. And it's a very simplistic one. All you have to do is zoom out, have an idea in mind the direction you want to go off it. I mean, I suppose too, when it loses this level, you can go short. But if you're thinking a continuation play long, or a stock is filling a gap in and you want the mean reversion, what better place than to find liquidity at a prior significant level? And multiple examples of that today. And you might even get one if Tesla goes to 295, that's going to be the same thing too. So I'll give you a bonus one. This prior high in Tesla, 295. It can't even get there on Tesla. And you know what kind of a wall that was when we were trying to get there, trying to break through it. So now it's broken through. I'm still looking for that bounce. I mean, as long as it holds that prior resistance turning into support, then you know the trend is unbroken, even if it's broken on your short-term chart. And that's the key. It'll look really bad sometimes at those levels on your 3-minute or your 1-minute, but when you zoom it out and you bounce off a level like this, when everyone else has been stopped out on their intraday, that's when you know you've got a good one. So prior support turning in resistance and vice versa. It's a very simple one and a few great examples here today that I wanted to share with you. There's your lesson of the day. Back to the Bash Brothers.
Good look there. Neil, fantastic lesson as always. Guys, let's pull up my screen here momentarily just to see what we got going on. Ant in the chat was asking me about primary target. We took the majority of it off right here. He's going to armchair. All right, there we go. So there we go, right below the volume weighted average price. I told you that's where we're going to take it up 3% here is DKNG. So solid trade on this frontier. What is that? 35.90 all the way up to 36.49. So there it is, DKNG, kind of just moving against the market, and that's a positive sign for a stock that had some decent earnings this year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, we're involved in a couple of names. NWE just took some prints to the high side, just got stopped out for the remaining amount. We'll go negative on that one now after going break even. So this one doesn't hold a VWAP. That will be the end of the trade for me with that because it lost the volume weighted average price. Speaking of volume weighted average price, I got a dip trade here on WBUY for a VWAP bounce. So we've been scalping on WBUY at this level. Let's see where VWAP is. Just a little bit ahead of that $21 area. In fact, it looks like it's like $21.05. Something like that, waiting, I believe, at 15s to get filled. There we go. Now we are now filled at 25s, excuse me. Wow, that just lost the bid. So here we go. It has to hold 19 for me to hold on to this one. Wowzers. Okay, so we'll hold on for that. Let's see what we get there. So 21.25 is where I'm at. Let's go ahead and wait at 21.50. Let's see if this one wants to hold up at the volume weighted average price. It already wicked well below it, but this one moves dollars at a time. So anything below 20, we're going to take an L on this one. Break even on it now, but it's going to have to hold that $20 area. The other one that I'm involved in, where is that? PHAT. Shout out to my man or to my whatever, fatty girl over here. This one's still holding that 330 area, but the problem with this one is it is putting an umpteen amount of lower highs. So even though we're break even on it right now, I don't know how I feel about this one going forward. It's not really able to clear that bad pattern or that bearish pattern, I should say, of lower lows and not lower lows and lower highs. It's got the same area low, which is VWAP, right? But that lower high situation is very much in play with that 378 being the high of the day. And every single candle subsequent to that 378 kind of tilted down like this for the lower low situation. So I don't know really how much I'm going to hold on to that one. Back to WBUY into 21 we go. We're still 25 pennies out of the money on this one. I've given it as much as I can give it in terms of room. So this will have to be kind of the general area where it holds up at. Otherwise, we're going to take an L here on WBUY. So looking for that move back into that $0.50, so to speak. Let's see what we get here. Let's see if this one wants to catch a bid, possibly to the high side. Now showing me 28s on the level 2 on the ask side. So it's above VWAP again, but not exactly exploding to the high side. Maybe we should set up some more orders as well at that level. Let's go ahead and throw some more beak wetters there, and then we'll just layer all the beak wetters. If they print, they print. They don't, they don't. Simple as that. So let's go ahead and set some more. 22, 20, oops, there we go. So there we go. Are we getting anything over here? Not quite. So it's at 48. So now we're in the money on it, but I'm still not getting any prints because I'm not looking at scalping 25 pennies when I was out of the money by $1. So this one's going to have to really rock it back up to print all the beak wetters that we have set there. Still showing me 48s on the ask side of the level 2. Alas, it's not holding, dropping back down. There's 21.48 again. A whole bunch of buy orders. Now we're printing. Okay, so now we just took out some levels there. Just got the beak wet. Doing okay on WBUY right now. We've got size on as well. I don't usually take size, but we're going to take it here. So that's the situation. I'm waiting now at 69. It just showed me 60. Let's see exactly what we get here. But guys, this one, oh my God, I should have still been in this one. Bang! NX double T. It is halted to the high side here at $1.23. Breaking through that dollar like it doesn't even matter. Halted to the high side, guys. I don't know exactly what time the halt is. There it is. 12/11/28. That's the last print that came in there, 12/11/28. So keep your eye out on that if you're into these small cap gappers. Joseph, I'm just going to manage this position.
Do what you got to do there, guys. So there you go. So 5-minute inverted here on DKNG. This could be a potential out signal as the market looks like it wants to take an additional leg to the downside. So yeah, there we go. Nice inverted candle there. It might look like, so you just got to listen to what the PA is telling us. I'll take the break even stop out. I only have 10-15% remaining, but I was really 20%, sorry, of what I was essentially holding. So I'm okay with that. Looking for that bigger move here, but that is not a good signal for DKNG, just below the volume weighted average price. So we'll be patient and see if we can get a potential bounce here in the market. I mean, the Qs are closer to the low a day than the SPY. Tesla giving back a lot of those gains earlier in the day. I mean, I think it was a bit of a squeeze on that front, but a good technical breakout on Tesla regardless of what happened here. So there you go, low a day on the Qs right here. Guys, I know someone was talking about something on the TQs, asked for a potential wall or call wall or anything, so just kind of reiterate me on what you said, and I'll look into that. No doubt. So, but yeah, I mean, DKNG, there might be a potential add position here. But again, I want to follow the market. And if the market's going to the downside, I don't necessarily want to be going counter trend to what it's doing right now, even though this is an in-play stock. So they do move slightly different. But there we go. We're getting a nice move here on Bitcoin. Back to the top side. I've seen someone in the chat mentioned, who was it, Sweeping? Yeah, Sweeping said,
what'd he say?
Sweeping said he bought some IBIT lows as well too. So good look on that front. 58.22 was the low, and now we're trading around 58.48. So 20 cents bang, just like that. So yeah, we'll be patient. I actually sorry, I forgot to mention this to you guys. I actually took one trade on IBIT this morning, and it worked out for us, but nothing crazy. I just eventually got stopped out break even, and then I was focusing on DKNG, and I'm like, no. And eventually when it did this move here, that would have been nice. 59 was kind of the peak on this IBIT trade. So 58.60, we were in it. I took some off here, and then as soon as I got stopped out break even, I'm like, ooh, I need to take this DKNG trade. Let me put this aside, even though it does continue to climb. But I want to pull up the actual underlying asset to see what we have going on from a technical standpoint, because I mean, I'm not going to say that we're overly extended right now, but we've been on a nice move over the past couple of weeks, right? So that's exactly why I decided to sell some shares last night in my IBIT swing. I'm not selling in the long term whatsoever, but in that swing, we're going to pull up Bitcoin right now to see what we got cooking up on this front. So again, so you can see leg up, nice consolidation, additional leg up. Now, I guess the third leg is kind of a hit and miss. Are you going to get that? But that's two solid legs to the top side. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a pullback into this 95 range. But if it's super strong, like it's displayed itself, just listen to the PA. And if it decides to break through that all-time high with momentum, then just go with the flow there, Sharif.
Yes, sir. Just took a couple of prints now on WBUY. Still waiting for that move here. I'm kind of concerned about this one. It's above VWAP, but it's kind of an anemic hold. You didn't get those aggressive buy orders that you typically see at a key area of technical support. Okay, now we're printing on it because we just took out 69s, so we're into 25s here. Took out that 69 level. That one north, though, of 22, still going unprinted. So positive on it right now, and quite happy about this because we had gone negative on the day as a result of that NVVE trade. But now we're positive on the... No, almost positive on the day. Quite. I shouldn't jinx it, right?
Yeah.
I got to be careful with that. But you're positive on this stock at least, so we'll take that. The Piper brother, just send it to that same email, but you're going to have to tell me what the name of the individual is. Otherwise, I don't know who to look for, okay? Because I'm sure you can imagine, brother, we get lots of emails. All right, back to NX double T. Here we go. It's open and it's flying. Seller at 32, got taken out. Here we go, 34 is Joseph. There's a monster seller at 35. We're taking him out, baby. There he is. He's getting eaten up. He's getting clean. His clock is getting cleaned. All right, 137. There is literally big size at every level. That's all getting taken out. Now, do we wait for a dip trade into 130? What's the move here? Do we chase this? I don't want to chase it. Or do we wait for that big boy retracement into that buck or into that $1.30? The reason I say a $1.30, $1.25 is that halt level is $1.27. So oftentimes what we end up seeing is a test of that halt level gap and then a move back up. It doesn't always happen. It sometimes happens. Here we go. It looks like we might halt here at $1.47 if this continues to print in this way for a few more seconds. 10-second halt parameter here. We will halt if this holds. Is it a false halt? No, we are halted again to the high side. So we may have one in our hands here, ladies and gentlemen. NXXT or NX double T. I'm killing myself with that. $1.47 high. Let's keep an eye out on that one. Joe.
Yeah, it's a tongue twister. All right, guys. Yeah, so we're holding up. This is going to be a key moment here in DKNG. Are we going to break through this 5-minute potential pivot? And if we do and sit on top of the volume weighted average price, then we can probably slowly start to appreciate in price here. So that is a positive sign. But Palantir continuing to bleed. One thing, let's pull up Palantir's daily actually, and I just noted, I'm like, okay, yeah. When I start trading this, one of the strongest names, it decides to put in all these buffoonery days there, shoot. But here we go. See, 125.91. Look at that double top right there, guys, on Palantir. So let's be patient to see if we can break through that. We're going to want to see that momentum and that volume step in order for us to crack through that. 120, we have a lot of open interest. But let's pull up the chain and actually see what we and take a look at what we see here on at that 126 strike, just above where that all-time high is here on Palantir. On this week's expiration cycle, I don't think is going to tell us too much. So I'll go next week to see what we got cooking up there. 126. Okay, so yeah, 125. There it is, displayed, guys. 125. Some supply over there, 27,000, and then just above that at 126, we have about 7.5 thousand. So a good amount. The 27,000, sorry, at 125 is the largest amount. So there you go. That's leading into next week. Let's see if we can test into that 125 level and how it reacts. And if not, if we don't get anything relatively close, you might be able to find a short there on Palantir, Sharif.
Okay. All right. Let's keep an eye out on PHATs, continuing to kind of make those higher highs and higher lows. Keeping an eye out on that, up about 50%. Still south, though, of that whole that half dollar. Eh? Oh, I didn't even see him. What's going on, brother? How was the swim? Is your voice okay?
No, he's pulling on me.
I see. Okay. Okay, Katian, man, I've just got to focus on my trades, brother. All right, so up into about $3.50 is PHAT, but it's still rejecting that area high at around 377. So keep your eye out on that. I'm setting up south of that $0.50 here for a possible beak wetter. It does have support at 33s, but sadly I did not add into that level. So keeping my eye out on that and waiting for NXTT to open up at $1.47. We'll be keeping an eye out on that. I've got really nothing else over here, though, Joseph, and I have to manage my position on WBUY.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what the vibes it's given over there. Eh? Sippo Sunshine. I like that name too. So, yeah, we won't repeat that, but I see what you're getting at. So yeah, let's go DKNG. Let's break through VWAP here, a nice pullback. I told you this is going to be a key pivot for us to break through here. That's going to be that 36.55 level. And if we do have the ability to sit on top of VWAP, then pull back and then add to that position to look for the continuation of that long. Added more into both Nvidia and TTQs, working well now off that bounce. Yeah, good look there, Gorev. One thing that we can note here as well too, your risk profile is relatively defined. You can see that we're constructing these higher lows. That's a positive signal. So if we continue to bounce off of this, then maybe we can get a rebound. But if we sit on the backside of this channel, then maybe we get that continuation to the downside and break through some of these lows of days. So yeah, just be patient, guys. I think that's one of the most important skills. I know you see us hopping in and out, but there's definitely method behind the madness on that front. We're just looking for our setups. But some days on Friday, again, it's Friday. We've put in a solid week. So expect volume to start to kind of cool off, especially in that lunchtime hour, like what we're currently sitting in, and then later on in the day. I mean, we can get some solid imbalances, but it's Friday, a nice weekend, so people want to kind of get out early and enjoy. So yeah, we'll just be patient. Like we're sitting here in this this DKNG. We've been in it since 11:30, so we've been sitting in this trade for an hour now, just letting it cook. And that's kind of what you got to do: is slow grind, slow grind, slow grind. Let's pull up the VIX actually, because the VIX is a big teller of all. Let's go VIX. We're gonna pull up the index and see what we're currently. Yeah, like okay, this is such a bullish sign, man. Okay, I gotta start collecting some serious data here on the VIX, just because when we get these massive moves up in the VIX, it'll always just revert back to the mean. Obi was mentioning this too, and I'm like, yeah, you're so right, dude. But yeah, this is like put central here when you get to 60s. This is obviously the peak tariff fear, and then if you're buying those further dated puts, then you're sitting at a probably a really nice return on that. So next volatility spike, you're gonna see it live. I'll tell you guys about it. I'm gonna look to trade some VIX, and to be honest with you, I've never bought any contracts in the VIX before, so that's gonna be a first. And I'm gonna be buying some puts, and I'm most definitely looking forward to that. But I like what's happening now. You can see that the market is starting to recover. The volatility is definitely cooled down, so that's a good bullish sign here. And those options premiums are coming significantly down. So I like that. Buying options buyer market. And if we get those volatility spikes, then you can collect some premium just through volatility in itself, Sharif.
Well said, Joseph. All right, guys, got stopped out for the dip trade here on WBUY. It lost $20, so got stopped out 1990s, but kind of happy with that stop because now it's in the high 18s. So a bit of a loss there and a loss of VWAP, so we'll give back everything that we made on that one. It's a tougher look, so that's the way the cookie crumbles on that. Now back to NXTT. It's halted now again to the downside. This time to the downside. It filled the gap that it previously halted at 147. I believe it is halted at 146, high day 161, but this one's certainly in play now. Big time in play. So how do we trade this? Well, the previous area halt level was about $1.22, and it ended up opening up at about $1.27. I want to say 26, something like that, in and around that area. So we can look to those areas for areas of intraday technical support. So I'll set up something in and around there, give you some more levels on NXTT. You have the 10 exponential moving average at around 109. South of that, you obviously have the whole dollar level being psychological support. And then one more technical level here. I don't know if I'd be buying it off here. About 92 pennies, Joseph. That's where the volume weighted average price is.
Yeah, really good look there. And then what a crazy breakout. But guys, listen up. Traders funded by Trade the Pool have been cashing out big. We're talking $5,000, $15,000, $29,000, and even $36,000 on one trade. Here's how it works. You pay a one-time evaluation fee starting at $47. That's your total risk. You trade real shares, not CFDs, using up to $200,000 in company capital. You keep 70% of the profit. Do the math there, guys, on that $30,000 trade there. No margin calls, no account blowups. Scan Trade the Pool's QR code to get 10% off and start your journey now at tradethepool.com. Guys, scan that QR code,
sir,
and check it out. Only $47, and you can have some big payouts there. You see 36K. That's nice. Let's see what Adair's up to.
Keep an eye on Google here, guys. Excuse me, GeoOGL on watch after Anthropic put this court filing, and apparently, according to this filing, they were saying that the Department of Justice's proposed remedies in Google's search case risk chilling AI investment, or I guess risks kind of changing the sentiment here around investment in AI. Anthropic, I guess, not a fan of these proposed remedies for this Google case, according to this court filing. GeoOGL, I'll take a little bit here, nothing crazy, but just be aware. This is, of course, going to be on watch, the Google DOJ trial. Back to you.
Thank you for that, Adara. All right, let's take this opportunity to do the news because I'm going to take a little bit of time off trading for a minute. All right, here we go. Let's start with the biggest mover. Well, not the biggest mover, one of the more important ones because crypto's doing things. So Coinbase reported yesterday, and it was not a good look for the crypto name, Joseph. It's not a bad look. They're down 2 3/4%, so it's not all that bad. But they did kind of really disappointed. So let's talk about how they did. They missed on EPS, and it was a big miss on EPS there, guys. $1.94. Not only did they miss the street's expectations, but look at what they printed on EPS last year on the quarter. $4.40. This time they're printing $1.94. You could make the argument that quarter over quarter, it would be fundamentally different because we saw the huge crypto revenue kind of get pulled forward with that whole Trump trade after the election. But what's going on with the year over year look? I mean, I don't kind of get that. So $4.40 in EPS was they printed last year on the quarter. This time is $1.94. Revenue also missed. I mean, again, this one really confusing to me. $2.03 billion. The street was looking for a 2.12. That's still up year over year, though. So maybe the expectations were a little lofty with Q1 of this year being very strong. The street was expecting yet a strong Q2, but it's still up $1.64 billion. That's year over year, shy of endless estimates, though. Transaction revenue, the amount of transaction money that they made, $1.25 billion. Subscription subscription revenue. I didn't even know that they had a SaaS model. I had no idea. Apparently, they're printing $700 million on the quarter from that. Trading volume did decline, as I kind of mentioned there, with a lot of the big trades being pulled forward with the Trump trade subsequent to the election. Consumer trading volume down 17% quarter over quarter. Obviously, the decline fueled by Q4 optimism from the election. Institutional volume, also an important gauge that we look at here, down 9% quarter over quarter to throughout about 315 billion. But April was kind of like a decent month within the overall quarter. They had about $240 million in transaction revenue, showing you that, you know, a decent post Q1 momentum, despite obviously the tariff jitters. Their guide, it was okay, $600 to $680 million in SaaS revenue, but compare that to what they made here, which was about $700 million. So you're looking for weakness at least quarter over quarter for the SaaS part of the thing. Stable coin revenue continues to be decent here, offset by lower blockchain rewards. This kind of reflects the recent drop in crypto prices or the recent crypto weakness. And the strategic move here, this is what they're looking to do. They acquired a new company called Durabit. It's a crypto derivatives platform, Joseph, for about $2.9 billion. That's the largest crypto mergers and acquisitions deal to date. That obviously boosts their international derivative presence against and hedges against U.S. regulatory risk. And Q1, guys, saw continued growth of their derivatives market, aka Joseph's bread and butter. We're going to Adara.
Let's take a look here at VSTS. This is Vestis. They reported earnings Tuesday after the bell. But the reason I'm pointing this out here is because Betaville apparently issued a takeover note on the company. Betaville, I looked into it. It's basically a UK website just covering any stories about deal makers and deals in the industry. So that's what's happening here for VSTS. Apparently there's a rumor or talk here of a potential takeover for the company, VSTS. Nice look here near day's highs, but 3 million shares traded on the day. And there was a little bit of a volume uptick when we got this pop on this story. Back to the guys.
Great reporting as always, Adara. Good look there. That's what I'm seeing here. Great. Yeah, we can show the screen on. Vestis gains amid market takeover speculation. I'll make that a bit bigger if you guys want to read the story. You guys don't want to see these Dan Ives shirts over here. Yeah,
I do.
You do, huh? The story goes, may have attracted a new round of takeover speculation. Who cited Betaville. Uncooked alert was circulating Friday. So good look there. It's a French competitor, Ellis, in early October said it ended discussions with Vestis. So apparently these guys were the subject of a previous takeover bid there. Interesting. Look, kind of an ugly daily chart, though, if I could say so over here. We'll just show the daily chart super quick on that. It's a no good, as the Katina man likes to say. That's the daily on that. So it's a bit of a tougher one there, up from 22, and now we're down to 6 3/4. That's the high of the day today. You have anything to say before
I'm going to add to your Coinbase
go for it, baby.
point there as well.
Yes,
See, Sharif, if we can pull up my screen here, guys, so you can see that we stayed within that expected move here on Coinbase, but then we actually broke through it on to the top side through the intraday session today. So again, once again, when you're paying premium ahead of the earnings report and you stay within that via straddles or whatever you may be doing, as time goes by, you're going to lose the value of those contracts slowly on volatility decay. So if you're playing that at the money straddle or buying these contracts outright, whether it be long or puts or calls, you need to exceed that move and you want to lock in those profits immediately, because the coming days, day one earnings, day two, day three, etc., that volatility is going to start to drastically decay and you will lose value of those contracts very quickly. So there you go. Coinbase, going back to Sharif's point from a fundamental standpoint, technical standpoint, stayed within that expected move.
Well said, Joseph. Yeah, that's really important as well to see, did it stay within. And Danielle Shea, when she was on, she would always give us like a really interesting tidbit there. And she would say, if a stock remained within the expected move subsequent to earnings, usually you could get a recovery. and quite quickly. But if it didn't, if it exceeded the expected move, so for example, if it was plus or minus 10, ended up dropping 13, then you were likely going to trend to the downside thereafter, at least in the short term. So it was a really interesting thing that she mentioned there that kind of stuck with me for a hot minute there.
I like that, yeah.
All right, guys, Taiwan Semi, next on the list here. They reported, record revenue in April. Guys, and I'll submit to you, this is their best month ever in the history of the company. We'll get to that one in a second, but they did report about $10.8 billion in revenue just in April alone. That's about 350 million new Taiwanese dollars. Guys, that's a 48% bump year over year on the month. That's the highest monthly sales ever for Taiwan Semi. Doesn't matter, you're looking back 5 years, 10 years, 20. That was the highest monthly sales ever. Apparently, sales are exploding as demand for AI hardware continues to grow. Chips, servers, GPUs, mobile processors, you guys get it. AI hardware. Their infrastructure demand growth is good as well. So they previously forecasted AI-related revenue to double in 2025. We obviously know they supply the likes of Nvidia, Apple, AMD, Qualcomm, all the big names. They're seen as essentially, obviously, you guys know, as a linchpin in the global AI supply chain. Nothing new for our well-versed viewers. Tariffs, though, could be a bit of a headwind. So analysts believe part of the surge in the April sales and a record month could have been as a result of the pre-tariff inventory stocking. So fears rising over the potential U.S. tariffs on non-domestic semiconductors. Despite that, Taiwan Semi has tried to kind of alleviate some of the beef with the Trump administration by pledging $165 billion in U.S. investments, but they didn't receive any guarantees of any waivers of any kind. So they're pledging the money, hoping that Donald and crew kind of see that for what it is and give them a bit of a break there. With respect to the remaining portion of 2025, their outlook kind of remains conservative. So despite the red-hot April, TSMC still guiding, though, about mid-20% sales growth for full year 2025. That's below the 44% year-over-year increase that we've kind of seen in the first 4 months of this year. So it's suggesting to you internal caution on the sustainability of this near-term or this nearer-term spike in sales that we got there. So interesting look. Pinterest as well. If you want to say anything.
Yeah, I'm good. Good.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
Pinterest as well, guys. Really interesting report. Do you use Pinterest?
I've never.
You don't use Pinterest.
I've never.
I've got it on the
ever.
phone, bro. But like I could tell you, maybe I open it up 3 or 4 times a year.
Yeah. Is it like a Reddit type thing? I think.
A little bit more with less text, more pictures.
Oh, Neil.
So it's like.
Oh, I thought he was coming in.
Oh, yeah, Neil, yeah. Don't upset Neil, bro. He just needs elbow room, baby.
Yeah.
No, seriously, though, I like it for, like, fashion stuff.
Okay.
Like, if you want to pair a jacket and a shirt and pants together,
Yeah.
you get good ideas off there.
Off of Pinterest? Oh, okay.
Brenda was telling me his wife uses it for interior design.
I was just about to say that. I was about to say this. You get those in-house, like, decor kind of ideas and everything along those lines. Okay, yeah.
That's what they're using it for. I mean, personally, I don't use it for that.
You can do, like, pastry, everything, right?
Ideas.
I was just about to say, yeah.
And now, here's the deal. So if you were using it just for that, now apparently, I don't know if you're Gen Z or millennial. What are you?
Whatever, 92.
Whatever it is, yeah. Anyway, Gen Z apparently is using it to shop. So not only are they getting ideas off it, but they're pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about that, Joseph.
I mean, yeah, that's what we do. Sorry, I didn't show you, but I mean, that was kind of, I think Selena got a lot of her ideas for the inside of it. It's like we wanted Tulum vibes. Right?
I like that.
We like that.
For the spot?
Yeah. So
Of course
that's kind of what we did. Yeah, we've seen it. We got.
That's
you've
sick.
been to Tulum?
I've been Cancun, Playa del Carmen, Tulum, everywhere, bro.
It's one of my favorite places.
Well, it's all the same area.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like 2 hours away. I was driving too. I rented a car.
They just got their own airport. You had to land in Cancun to go to.
And that's what I used to do, right? Because I can't sit in the back of a vehicle for long, just get super car sick. So I'm like, all right, let me rent a car here so I can drive to Tulum.
There you go. Well, that's actually smart, bro.
Yeah.
I rented a car on Cozumel, just because like the little island, but I never rented a car on the actual land itself. All right, guys, here we go. Let's talk about the revenue for Pinterest. This was a beat everywhere, guys, except on EPS. $855 million in revenue, beating $847. The EPS was a bit of a miss, 23 pennies from 26. Their EBITDA beat handily there, 170. 172 versus a 164. The street we're looking for margins continue to expand from 19.5 to 20. The monthly active users, aka the Mao Zedong. Anybody with Chinese history knows exactly what I'm talking about there. 500, get it, Adara. 570 million monthly active users versus the 565 expected there, Katina, man. The global ARPU, average revenue per user. They're making about $1.52 per user, which may not seem like much, but when you look at the amount of monthly users they've got, it's not all that bad, right? So that's the actual Q1 2025 earnings. Let's talk about that, the outlook. Revenue guidance, $960 to $980 million, which would be a little bit higher than the current quarter, so not a bad look. The midpoint there is about 970. That's ahead of analyst expectations at 966. And all that is suggesting to you that they expect healthy ad demand going into Q2, despite the macro turbulence. So I don't want to say it's kind of recession-proof or tariff-proof, but it's performing okay in a bit of a tougher environment, needless to say. Now, it's not all sunshine and rainbows on this report. In fact, North America was an obvious weak spot for Pinterest. Look at this. US and Canada, they missed on revenue, but they easily beat in Europe. So looking to diversify globally here, and that's what this article says. Strong international monetization trends helped offset a bit of a U.S. miss. And there are obviously, as with almost every other report we've read, tariff-related warning signs. The chief financial officer, Julia Donnelly, said some Asia-based e-commerce advertisers are pulling back spend. And we've seen this because of the end of the de minimis rule, which was the rule that allowed under $880 products to come in tariff-free from China. Meta's complained about it. Goggles has complained about it. Essentially, all the online advertisers, Snapchat included, have complained that they're not getting as many advertising dollars coming from these Chinese sellers because they're not sending as much product. And we saw that as well, reflected in the amount of shipments, the cargo shipments from China to the United States in the month of April. So it all checks. It all, what is it? What do the kids say these days? It tracks. All right, so keeping it, I don't know, bro. I'm 100. Leave me alone. All right, here we go. So let's talk about Affirm now. You have anything before I go on?
Continue, brother.
Okay, Affirm. So Affirm got shellacked today. And to be fair, you know, maybe there were a couple of things here that weren't that good, but honestly, it was not bad at all. Let's talk about it. EPS. They actually made money. A penny a share, baby. They're taking home millions. No, but seriously, the street was expecting a loss. They beat. Revenue was in line, $783 million, in line with expectations. Net income, $2.8 million. And that is the first positive net income for them in years. And when you compare it to how they did last year on the quarter, guys, they lost $134 million. Now they're making 2.8. So they're doing something well there. Gross merchandise value, that's what GMV stands for, $8.6 billion was the amount of gross merchandise purchased on their platform, or using their services, I should say, ahead of that 8.2. That's a 36% bump year over year. Adjusted operating margin as well increased 22% versus 21.6. And then let's look at the guide. The guide was the problem here, all right? Revenue came in, or they're guiding 815 to 845. That makes the midpoint 830, which is below the estimates of 840. So that's why you got the X there. That's a miss. Gross merchandise value guide is good as well. That was above the midpoint, and their adjusted operating margin, not a bad look. We'll take a quick pause here. We'll go to Adara for an update.
I just want to let you guys know, it's coming out a couple minutes ago, but it's not super market moving. I do think it's worth discussing, though. Wall Street Journal reporting that in addition to He Lifeng, we'll also have China's public security minister, Wang Zhuohong, accompanying He Lifeng to Switzerland to meet with Jameson Greer and Scott Bessent of the U.S. on these trade talks. So why this is pretty significant here is it's going to be public security minister. Apparently, this individual is also a pretty close confidant of Xi. So this could be pretty interesting. Look, I'm also reading this in the Wall Street Journal report. Sounds like because we do have the public security minister coming, it could be a bit of a sign that we do have the China a little bit concerned here about the role of fentanyl because they have the public security minister. So that could be an interesting look. Again, this is just a report from Wall Street Journal, but we're going to have the public security minister and Premier He Lifeng going to meet up with Jamieson Greer and Scott Bessent of the U.S. in Switzerland. So yeah, interesting look here, just an update on these China trade talks. No talks from Trump. And at 1 p.m., we are expecting Caroline Leavitt, White House press secretary, to hold a press conference. But the last press conference she was expected to hold didn't actually happen. So I'll let you guys know how that goes. Back to you.
Thank you very much there, Adair. If we can pull up my screen here momentarily. Yeah, so this is what Sharif is just referring to. He's going through the fundamentals, but now let's correlate that with the technicals and expected moves here on Affirm. You can see what he was just saying, that Danielle Shea, something that stuck with him is that when you've exceeded that expected move, you tend to have the continuation of that direction, and that's a prime example here in Affirm. We exceeded that expected move, and then now we're continuing to move to the downside here. Now during like 46.82 is what we're currently trading at. We broke that 5-minute announcement candle to the downside. So there it is. And I'm glad that you mentioned that there, Sharif, because now that's just more data that we can add and say, hey, this has happened, looking for continuation to either direction, whether we've come within that expected move or now we've exceeded it. And you can see that displayed perfectly right here in AFRM.
Yeah, guys, I just wanted to update you on something. I was never in that WBUY for that prolonged period of time. I just let Fabian know that that was incorrect. So I hope nobody was basing anything off that because I was not involved in that. And I didn't see it on the position board there. So I do apologize about that. Allow me just a second just to load up my Google Docs again. Just don't dox me. What's my guy's name? Assassino. Until we load up that bad boy. Yeah, now we're good to go. Thank you, Andre. Appreciate that. All right, so Affirm will continue on here with some of the key business drivers. This is interesting to me. So they're getting into credit card business, apparently. They've got about 22 million active consumers on their platform, 2 million new in the Affirm card, guys. The gross merchandise volume spent on the Affirm card up 115% year over years, and their active card holders for that Affirm credit card doubled. Apparently, that's a major growth driver, especially if you're not paying your bill all at once, because you're going to cough up 30-some-odd%, 25-some-odd%. That's a good look for them. Now, here's the deal, and this part really caught my attention. Their zero interest APR loans are not financed by them. I was telling Brendo and Neil this today. Really interesting. It's the merchants who are subsidizing that 0%. That's news to me. So instead of offering you, say, $100 off a product, say my regular price is $500, instead of dropping that price to $400 and saying, here's a sale, buy it for $400, I'll just say, all right, here's a $500 full price, but you can subsidize it over 6 months or whatever, a year, whatever they're doing, right? So it's really interesting how they're doing that. They're able to maintain full price, but over a prolonged period. So I thought that that was quite interesting because they're not the ones having to foot the bill for these zero interest loans. Credit quality as well remains really high. They've got less than 1% of their loans actually defaulting, which is a kind of a bellwether for the overall economy. We always keep our eye on car loan delay, or what are they called? Delinquencies, right? We look for those late payments. Then we look for the 1 month late, the 2 month late, and we want to see what the status of those are to kind of gauge the strength or weakness of the economy. And so this is one of those ones that we got to keep an eye on. Default rates remain low in a very, very, I want to say, sensitive area of the economy. They're not doing a lot of credit checks, and if they are, you're not really required to have as high of a credit score with these buy now, pay laters as you are for some other services. So you think, logically, if there was going to be some weakness in the economy, it would show up here first, and that's not happening. So I figured that that was really interesting for the overall market look there. Some commentary coming out of Affirm. CFO Rob O'Hare says no signs of consumer credit stress yet. Underline that word yet. Hopefully it doesn't end up getting worse or bad, I should say. The CEO says his 0% loans equals future card customers and long-term value. I guess maybe they're endearing themselves to future customers by giving them those 0% APRs. And the lower income consumers, he says, are pulling back per card issuer data and Affirm's own trends. So interesting look there. Joseph, anything on your end before we go on?
Good luck, brother. Oh, actually, yeah,
Yeah,
one
go
thing.
ahead.
Yeah, so I added to this DKNG position. If we break down and come into this zone, I'm just kind of free rolling right now. So if it comes back to my break even, you can see that my average has now been lifted, but I like this little dip below the volume weighted average price to see if we can get a potential pop there, guys. And one thing to note, if you're long Bitcoin at these lows, we need to crack this downtrend and sit on the backside of it in order for us to continue to climb higher. But one thing to note, you can see we're slowly starting to compress in price. So you want to look for that breakout either way. So higher lows, lower highs, etc. You get that price compression. You want to sit on the backside of either one of these trends and look for the direction of that. You sit on the backside of this uptrend, then you look for that short. You sit on the backside of this downtrend, you look for that continuation along there. Sure.
All right, sir. Good look. All right, let's keep going here. Lyft, guys. Interesting report out of Lyft. How are they doing on the day? Let me just have a quick gander there real quick, see if they're up or down on the day, Katina, man. It was, geez, Louise, they're up 24%.
Jeez.
Okay, why are we not trading Lyft?
Yeah,
all right, no, here it is. Lyft did real well, guys. There wasn't too many dark spots here. Let's talk about the whole report. So we'll start with the actual earnings report. Q1, easy beat there for the EPS, a penny per share positive. The street was looking for a negative 8 penny per share loss. Revenue did miss though, slightly. 145, who are they, Amazon? 1.45 billion versus a 1.47 the street was looking for. That's a miss on expectations, but it's still a 14% year over year increase. Net income, they lost, guys, on the quarter last year, $31.5 million. They're making $2.5 million now. Maybe that's why we're up 24%. Free cash flow, way higher than expectations. The street wanted 136. They printed $280 million in free cash flow, so they're swimming in that money, baby. The core business metrics, let's talk about this. Rides. We gave you guys that one for Uber yesterday. We talked about Uber mobility, Uber delivery. I don't think I actually talked about freight yesterday. I think I missed out on that one. My bad.
Whoa, Sharif.
Go.
Yeah, this
What
is
happened
definitely
here,
your
man?
realm. NVDE.
Yeah, I see it.
Were you watching that? Yeah, you see that breakout?
320.
I've seen a lot of
halt.
people. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people in the chat. There you go. It's halted.
gonna halt,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did. Oh, was that a false?
No, it's
I
halted.
think it's halted. So there we go. We got a tap of 306 there.
Good look.
Yeah, so nice call out there from you guys.
right,
Unfortunately, you don't want to chase this right now. Wait for it. I mean, what a big breakout here on the daily even, Sharif. That is an absolute monster move here. You can see that displayed on the daily. Great call out from you guys. NVVE breaking out. This is Sharif's world, and I'm sure he's going to probably look to take it.
Yeah, we're gonna look at, and there's another one, Joseph, that's halted as well. It's that NXTT that's also halted. So you've got two of these big boy movers on the day that are currently halted to the upside, both of them. Now, NXTT is a former, it's a previous convict over here. It's been halted to no end, high side and low side, so nothing new for it. But NWVE, Joseph, that's a new one there. Halted, still south though of that volume weighted average, of that high day 344. But keep your eye on this one. We're gonna look to do that. I'm just gonna finish here, Lyft, and then we're gonna get back into trading, guys. So. Let's talk about the actual metrics, their core business metrics. Rides, guys, the amount of the rides that they did issue on the quarter, 218.5 million, 16% year-over-year bump. That's ahead of expectations at 215. They had about 24.25 million riders on the quarter, up 11% year-over-year with gross bookings as well, 13% year-over-year bump, and again, ahead of expectations there. The 16th straight quarter of double-digit gross bookings growth. That's not a bad look, man, especially for called, Uber's ugly little cousin, so to speak. Sorry, Adair. I mean, I didn't mean to disrespect anybody over there, but that's the situation. Q2. Outlook, ride growth. They're looking for mid-teens growth. Not a bad look. Gross booking guidance, 4.41 to 4.57. That's above the midpoint of the analyst expectations, about 4.48, which obviously shows demand resilience under the base expectations. They're last but not least, guys, they're buying back shares to the tune of $750 million. That's one of the key drivers, I would say, of being up about 24% on the day. And they did announce a $200 million acquisition of a German-based taxi company called Free Now. So they're weaseling their way into the European market, which shows, that they've got, obviously, international ambitions. No one can dog them for that. So not a bad look at all for Lyft. Now let's get back to work here, baby. NWVE halted to the upside at 320. What's the top? It's already lower. 305, still above that $3 area. It's changing by the second. 305, now it's 310. So the theoretical auction price on NWVE at around 310. This one did halt at 1248.11. So we'll expect it to open up at 48, so that would be 53, 1253.11. That's when it should open out if it is going to be a 5-minute halt. The other one that was halted is now open. Where's it at? NXXT. Let's weasel into this one. How are we going to do that? We still have that level, I want to say at around $1.46. That's been keeping us from ascending above that $1.50. Even when we got there last time, we did reject that $1.50. So do we get it above it this time? We shall find out. Let's go ahead and wait on that $1.51, and we'll set up at $1.54. What's the situation here? Is this one of the ones we add into the 10 EMA? It's not that kind of day for me today. All right, negative on the day, so I definitely won't be adding aggressively south of $1.30, Joseph. But we'll see if this one wants to clear the $1.50. What do you got?
Yeah. I'm just watching this NVVE, to be honest with you. I'm going to keep my eyes on it. I like the price of this stock. I like how it's up 180% on the day, and you can see this big time engulfing candle. So we'll be patient to see if we can get involved on that. Yeso Yusha River Bear. Sorry if I Yeshua.
I think that means like, doesn't it mean Jesus?
I have no idea.
Pretty sure it means Jesus in Aramaic.
He's Katina, man. He's curious as well am I. Did Obi know who Allen Iverson was? But you said AI. There he is. He's right there. You know who Allen Iverson is? All right. See, there you go. Bang.
Hold on.
Hey. Yeah, okay, all right.
Oh.
So there we go. Yeah, see, there we go. Katina Man being very vague. He knows who Allen Iverson is. He may not know who he played.
Hold on. Well, exactly,
Yeah.
Katina Man. That's what I was going to say. Who did he play for?
Yeah. Yes. That's it. Bang.
I love
the
it, bro.
Lakers.
Look, bro, if it ain't mean reversion, he doesn't want to hear about it, bro.
Yeah. If it's not about the reversion, that's exactly who Allen Iverson played for. Is the Lakers there, guys? Good luck on that
God
one.
bless him.
Yeah.
Yeshua bless him.
Yeah. You got the sport right.
Get it, O. We
it.
love you, bro.
Yeah, we love you, brother. I was betting for you. I thought you knew who it was, but stretching it that far to who he played for
Love this
might have
guy,
been a little
bro.
bit of a hot
Straight
take.
up OG.
But good look here, guys. Also, I want to point this out. My good buddy Gorev here as well too. Just absolutely crushing it. Look at this stop loss here from my guy Gorev on his trades here on the TQs. He sent me this one. Playing this hammer candle to a T with a stop there on this trade, and then just looking to take profits all the way up here, and already has. So really good look. And I think one thing to note here for my guy Gorev is just that the stop loss exactly where it should be. So there you go. Good work there, brother. I love seeing that. Love you sending me those, and I'm being more than happy to just play because I know you're a regular in the chat, and everybody wants to know if you're actually trading. So
exactly.
Yeah. So there you go. NVVE, guys. I'm not gonna. Whoa. Okay. This stuff is crazy, Shreve. As you mentioned, it just took like a massive 10-cent pop like that. If you're gonna trade this, you want to definitely start significantly small. I don't want to take any form of a massive hit on this. Like I'm thinking about chasing. Look at the tape. Look at the strength within this time of sales.
Yeah, I'm in it.
And there you go. You're in it.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right. So there you go. How much did you take off? At 316, you're in it. All right. You're already 8 pennies there.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's see if we can continue this. We want to see that just like that. It dumps 10 cents.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. And you got to hop out right there. But it did crack that pivot high. And there it is. Yeah. I'm not going to chase it just yet. Wait for another pullback. And if that volume and momentum wants to be sustained, then maybe we can base a trade off of that. But lift, Sharif. I like how you reported that. The fundamentals continuing to climb higher.
Good look with that company, man.
Yeah. Pardon me.
Good look for that company, man. Yeah.
Yeah. For Lyft,
dude.
Totally here. And to be honest with you, I only use Uber, right? So that's I've never personally used Lyft, but here we go, putting in a new high a day. Let's zoom out and see what we got going on from a daily standpoint as well. Big breakout here. You can see that downtrend. So that downtrend has been cracked here, guys, and then now we're sitting on the backside of it, and then you get a solid earnings report, and you get that technical breakout as well too there on LYFT. My ad on DKNG Didn't work out. That's okay. It's starting to pull back now. I mean, we're still green on the day with it. It was the better of the trades. So yeah, happy with this. Looking for that add and the continuation of the trend to the top side, but we just didn't get it. The pullback was too deep, and I was only risking my own unrealized on that. So boom, just get stopped out at the 18s there. Just free rolling the position, looking for a little bit bigger of a bigger move. But here it is earlier in the day. This is what we were trading on DKNG. Enter the position, add. Bang, 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 bang. We take them out, add, free roll that, gets stopped out, and then we just enter a whole new position. This is a new one here, and then we take it all the way to the top, and then we get stopped out like 5 or 10% there. Let's see what Adair's up to.
I just want to let you guys know here, we are waiting on Press Secretary of the U.S., Caroline Leavitt, to start this press conference. I'm going to, oh, sorry, this is just the MSTR chart. Go up to NASDAQ. I have eyes on it. It has not begun yet, but I will be listening to the conference. I'll let you guys know if anything market moving happens, especially ahead of these trade meetings we're expecting this weekend. So again, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt to take the podium. Just be aware. Back to you.
Listen, yeah, I love you, man. Don't ever think otherwise. Until I tell you I don't, just know that.
Yeah, but look, you got to prove your love for him, bro, by inviting him over.
Yeah, if Ozan's in the city, man, we'll go out for a pint there. You can come see. I don't know if you've ever been to Toronto, but we'll go down the old Yonge Street there and the Bay Street corridor. Oh, one thing that I noticed is they're starting to clean up Union Station finally. So like right out in front of Union Station, a lot of the unfortunate homeless people and some of the drug addicts would live there. But now there's a heavy police presence. Something obviously must happen where they're like, all right, you guys got to go. I guess this is like it's probably the country's biggest train station right there in Union. So you don't want kind of that going around. I mean, I've seen some wild stuff happen inside of Union Station, and I'm glad to see that start to get cleaned up.
I was gonna say, and like that's like not the current mayor's like priority. She's more about affordable housing, like let them kind of live a little bit instead of hounding them down. So I'm kind of surprised to hear that.
Hounding them down. I mean, hey, listen, Sharif. Again, for me personally. Union Station, you don't want it to necessarily look like a dump, and you don't want drug use around it, and that goes for me with
way too many families. And
right,
stuff
exactly,
there,
and that goes with whatever. I don't even know what the name. I'm still calling it Dundas Square. It's like this is like our Times Square,
with you,
right?
bro.
Like I would like Selena won't even go on Yonge Street. She's that terrified. I'm like, man, they're not going to do anything to you. Anyways, they're relatively nice, but you don't want to see that drug use.
No,
okay. Bitcoin, guys, is really breaking down. See, this is what I'm talked about. You want to look for a trade on the opposite side of each one of these trend lines. As you can see, we opened up on the backside of this uptrend line, and now we're continuing to move to the downside there. That's why I took some profits in. That's why I locked in some shit. I sold some shares. I'm still sitting on those contracts in this, but I do believe with the move that we just seen, we're going to get a little bit of a pullback, and that's being displayed here today. Still holding up relatively well, 58 and change here, so that's probably going to still hold us well above 100. Well, not well, but probably 102, 103, whatever it may be. But there we go, sitting on the backside of this trend. Profit-taking Friday. I've seen a couple people in the chat mention that, and that's exactly what's been doing.
I like it, man. Yeah. Profit-taking Friday sounds like a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
So why not, bro? All right, we're doing it live up here on NXTT. I just can't get it right, bro. I'm so sorry about this today, guys. I've misstated this one so many times. We've got 34 ons. We just took out some at 45 there. It's holding the 10 EMA well. Here we go into 46s. Let's take out some more here. Not a bad look right now on NXTT. Looking for that 50 break, and we saw 50 was a hard level to shake. Call a spade, so we'll take some at 48s. 49 showing up now. Okay, this might halt to the upside. We're going to get caught in an up halt over here on NXTT. If this continues, we know that false halts always boom right above 50. Okay, so we get that print. We're still unprinted at 55s. High of the day, 61. Yet another halt parameter coming in here at 51s. Do we halt at this level, or is it going to be another false halt like your friend 46? We're about 20 pennies in the money on this one. Decent look so far. We're holding some for a move up. Your friend NX double freaking T halted to the upside, but we've seen this. We've seen it halt up, halt down. So let's get ready, because anything could happen. I mean, this thing can open up at $1.25. You never really know. Now, here's the deal. We're going to keep an eye out on that level right there. Now, I know it's super small, and I do apologize. Let me see if I can do it live over here and increase the size. I'm doing it live, Katina, man. is doing it live. All right, we're going to increase the font for my friend, the Piper over there, who's been harping at me lately to increase. Oh, that's not the one there, Joseph. That's not a bad look,
Not a
though,
bad
huh?
look, though.
That's not a bad look
Yeah,
at all.
Piper said it wasn't, he has trouble seeing the candles. It wasn't the level.
Yeah, I know. I'm just blaming him for no reason.
There we
Joseph.
go.
That's kind of
So there it
what
is.
I like to do that. No, seriously, though. Header. There we go. Oh, no, that's not what we want
What
there.
are you trying to do here?
I'm trying to increase these bad boys here.
Oh,
That's my move here. Yeah, I'm trying. Katina Man, see that top? Cannot.
You
The
cannot.
Katina Man has confirmed it cannot be increased.
It has been confirmed. Coming in from the Oval Office, it is confirmed.
He's weaseled his
that
way
you
from the
cannot-
Oval Office.
Yeah.
Cannot be done.
It cannot be done.
Sorry, boys and girls. So
Too much winning.
Yeah, too much winning. Yeah, you should see the P&L today. We'll really talk about that. No, get it, Donald. We're winning too much. I don't want to win as much. No, I'm kidding, guys. Make want 44 again. Ozan, you're killing me, bro. I love Ozan, bro. Ozan's good vibes. Ozan. All right, guys. Here's the deal. We got to tap now a theoretical auction price on our friend NXTT at that $1.57. The next beak, what do we've got? 155. And we're so not a bad look so far. We'll look to do a little bit better so we can see if this one wants to keep moving up. So what I've done is I've set this up here as my default size. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to change all of them. Load default. Apply. Okay, there we go. I hope this pleases everybody. Because we're doing it live for you right now. And the reason I'm increasing this, not because I can't see it. I can see it, Joseph. It's I just want to make sure they can see it, right? You know what I mean? So we're doing it over here. We're increasing all the font sizes of all these bad boys so that we can do it. You guys can see exactly what we're doing. I caught myself there, eh? All right. Keeping an eye on NWVE as well. It lost $3. It's still above that volume-weighted average price. So let's keep an eye out on that. It could be an interesting dip trade candidate here. NWVE is the one I'm talking about. The one we're stuck in right now with a theoretical auction price showing 156 is NXTT. So fantastic look for this one. It's up a light, a decent, a not too big. 387% on the day. And if you are a newer viewer, sarcasm is my love language. It's what I know. It's what I do. Joseph.
Yes, sir. All right, Sharif, it's that time, my guy. Number 91 here on the day. Yeah, 10 more than
you ready?
Phil Kessel.
Are we doing it live long or doing it live short?
We're doing it live long.
All right. 563.51.
563.51.
We're taking profits at 565.
565.
51.
51.
Did I say 61 or I said 51 on the first one?
Yeah,
okay, and then we're getting stopped out, Joseph. 562.51.
51. Bang. Let's go. We're doing it live. Long here. What time is it? It's 1:04 to be exact. Let's see if we can get this. Did he ask us if we're live?
He is. He wants to know if we're doing it live.
He wants to know. All right.
These are the pressing questions we ask.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean?
Dylan Patel, my guy, can you look into GME for me? Sure, we can take a look into GME. No problem. No
Keep going, I'll send
problem.
him the tickers,
Absolutely,
yeah.
thank you, my friend.
Problem.
Here you go. Nice, a nice pop-up here in GME. Well, holding up relatively strong compared to the rest of the market. Now, let me ask you there, my friend, Mr. Dylan Patel. I think you've asked me about GME multiple times before. Right? And put it in the chat, because we're going to get into this. We might get into this. I don't know.
Get him, Joseph.
What are you planning on doing with this stock, right? Like, okay, now they're doing trading cards. I think they're putting Bitcoin on the balance sheet as well, too. Are you like...
Your friend's Meta getting back into, what's it called as well? Crypto. Did you hear about that?
Who?
Stable coins. Your friends at Meta.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Well, I forget what they
had an ill-fated attempt. They're getting back in, Joseph.
They tried that. I mean, he wants to go with the WeChat all in one, right?
There you go.
So there you go. So maybe you get...
Sorry, I didn't mean to
No, totally. So what Sharif's getting at is that he wants to... So I read about this a while ago, so if anything's wrong here. So what he wants to do, he kind of wants to make Instagram, whatever, like WeChat, where you can actually convert your currency into his own kind of cryptocurrency, whatever, and pay for things on the platform. And then that way they can actually track what you're buying better or something along those lines. So that's what Zuck wants to do. Second attempt on creating that own coin of his. But there we go on that one.
All right, NXTT is open. Boom, Joseph, we're taking out highs. All right, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
all
there
right,
you go.
we're doing it here. 69s. You know where I'm setting. I don't want to have to repeat this ever again. All right, I'm sorry, bro. We're doing it live. We're doing it live at 69. It's taking out levels. Boom! Again into 3/4.
Delayed.
All right, we're setting up at 75, Joseph, because 69 just didn't cut it. So we're gonna wait now at 75s. Let's see if that $0.25 of a dollar gets blown through. Right now, showing me 71s. It did pop up momentarily into 72s. There it is again at 72. Seller at 72. Joseph, can we shake him? 73. Can we get a 74? There's a big boy seller at 73. Can't shake that guy either. Maybe he gets shaken later. So we'll continue to watch if he gets shaken.
Yeah, we'll watch it. Shake and bake on that one. Dylan Patel. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you.
What are you gonna say?
Yeah, I'm just gonna be like, dude, on it, just
Tell him, Joe.
like, there's so many. Why GameStop? Like, just elaborate. You want to swing trade GameStop? I get it. It has a low of 20. Now we're trading at 27. But just look at this price action. Do you truly want to sit through this? My answer is going to be straight up no.
Tell him.
All right. So if you're looking to swing trade that, I can't give you any sound advice because the fundamentals of the stock are garbage. The stock has not been good. I'm going to call it hot garbage straight up. And I personally like, listen, that craze is over. It's long over. Like just find something else, Palantir, something that is moving in a specific direction. Like, what about
Yo, Katina Man is like, yo, watch out for Palantir there,
I
my
mean,
guy. He doesn't want too many people talking about it.
Too many people talking about it, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm gonna call it how I personally see it. I could be totally wrong. I'm not playing about this GameStop. He's obviously playing, but I'm not playing about GameStop. I wouldn't be putting a dime of my own money into this, or someone else's money. Sorry, I should say there. Sharif, if you were to give me $10,000 and say, hey. What are you going to do with this? I'd be like, I'm not going to put it into GameStop. I'm going to put it into something else, right? So honestly, that's just my opinion.
I'd put it into your crypto. If it was your money,
if it was my money,
the entire fund. You gave me 10 grand right now. $10,000 goes into Bitcoin.
Or would you all at once, or would you go thou?
No, that's a good one. That's a good one right there. Depends on what time we're at. Like if we were at 75,000 or at 79 or 80. It'd be all 10.
You know what I would do if you gave me $10,000 right now? I would buy $1,000 worth of Bitcoin every time I heard that Michael Saylor was going to buy more Bitcoin.
Oh, okay. Is that an implicit endorsement for strategy?
No, I don't like strategy at all either. To be honest with you. Yeah, I'm just gonna be honest. I'm just gonna be honest with you. MSTR.
I love everything about this conversation right now.
I mean, hey, listen. I mean, the stock's trading great. I don't want to own it. If I'm gonna look for Bitcoin exposure, I'm going directly to the underlying.
Bang.
And I'm not going through Mr. Michael Saylor, even though you can get that.
Let's bring in Adara in here. I want to hear what she has to say. Adara, chime in a little bit over here.
She likes the
$10,000 in your hand right now, Adara. What are you punching into?
Based on current technical levels, I'm not going to say Mademoiselle Lily, though that was immediately my first guess. Honestly, I'm going to have to go Boeing. I think I'd have to go Boeing because Boeing, it looks really
Make your
good
case.
on the daily. It's doing that fly, it's trying to fly to the upside on the daily chart. We talked about that 193 breakout. This was another name that I had as my pick for the Jimmy Carter, and I believe it's my best performing Jimmy Carter pick right now. So as of right now, I'm going to go Boeing, but this is basically off the top of my head. If I did a little bit more research, I might have a different name right now. I'm comfortable with BA.
All right, let's go down the line here. Katina Man, 10,000.
Katina Man, you want to chime in a little bit here? 10,000 in your hand.
What are you grabbing?
Can you grab the mic, Katina Man, so we can so they can all hear you?
Yeah, and then we'll go down Neil too, see what Neil's
this
thinking
is
about. Neil's
I like
thinking
this
of
one.
storm up there. I can't wait to hear. Yeah,
He's in. Katina Man, give us the goods.
10K.
Well,
One name. You can't
it don't
diversify.
matter. I mean, does 10K is
10K in your hand.
pick one stock? Okay, right. At the current price,
that's a good rule.
Palantir.
At the current price, Katina Man?
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, you said Bitcoin. Bitcoin's 7,000 from all-time highs.
Yeah, but that was before the rule of the punching in. I wouldn't punch in at Bitcoin right now.
So what would be yours right now?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I literally thought we were doing that.
We instituted the new rule about $10,000 right now.
Yeah.
I'd be punch. I wouldn't be Bitcoin. I'd have to take that back.
Yeah. So
something
all seriousness, if we had to pick one name, then I would go with the S&P 500.
Okay, and that tracks with what you've been saying. You want to buy ETFs?
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
That tracks.
All right.
Nah, because I'm not sure. Like with all the tariffs and everything like that, it's one thing where I'm not. 100, let's go Tesla. We're long Tesla 297 right now. But no. I just think safe play. If we're talking about that, I would, and I have been doing.
I respect that.
We're not going safe here. It's all.
If we're not going
He wants
safe,
to do what he wants, bro.
no, but if we're Palantir for the stock.
All right.
But I
there's
mean,
rules. There's rules here.
Look, I'm already winning that. I'm already winning that thing.
You are.
Right.
I mean, we could do another.
right?
We could do another one. You want to do another one?
Yeah.
I mean,
We're just getting dunked on. All right, Neil, what do you got, man?
What do you got
What do you
there?
got, Neil?
It's been on my
Give him
screen
the
the
goods,
whole
Neil.
time. And I'm not going to change it because you guys are saying YOLO. My
Fair.
whole thing was if it had to be put in right now at these prices
Yes,
and
sir.
I got to leave it in, it's meta. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just keep it really simple. That's the Mag 7 name that I wanted to be dip buying anyways this year. And it just broke the 50, 200. It's consolidating above both. Like, we'll just go with meta. If I was picking in, like, I could say XLF if we're playing it a little bit safe. But no, I'll stick with meta. But that's the key thing. It's the whole, like, at this moment, at this price that really gets you. Because, yeah, I love Bitcoin too, but it's really easy if Bitcoin had an 8 in front of it. Then that would be hands down.
Easy. I agree 100% with that.
But that's not the question.
That's not the question. We brought in that rule after. We brought in the rule after.
If Palantir was $70, I'd put it in as well.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Yeah, well, if Meta was $20, I'd be putting it in as well.
Well, I'm putting it right here at 600.
history.
Oh, check that. Meta's down today.
So we have
$5.95.
S&P 500, Meta. What was yours, Joe?
Bitcoin.
No, did I say Bitcoin?
You said
I'm changing it.
Okay, then change
Well,
it.
yeah,
What is yours?
at these levels.
Netflix.
At these levels?
Yeah, at Netflix.
And then
like it.
and then we just
Okay.
need to wait for Sharif's pick.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go Tesla.
Okay. Ooh. At these levels? No, it's
Yeah, you know it's not at those levels.
I just said
man. We were just
at
at 480, baby.
I'm down with that.
Oh, my goodness.
No, so I just want to say, hey, run that Studio 8 thing when you get a chance.
Yeah, run
because
Studio.
this is the whole
This is
point.
what's going to
Exactly what
happen
we're gonna be
here.
able to
This
do.
is
Okay.
going to be
Point.
fantastic.
Let's just pause it for a sec.
Yeah, yeah.
This, what you're seeing right now, may be the standard going forward. It just might be.
Will
Tell us,
be.
Katina, man.
Is.
Will be.
Come on, man. We got to leave them guessing a little.
No, we're not trying. We already know.
No, but we won't need the.
It's not this look.
And you won't need the 4 shot. We're not talking about the 4 shot.
Yeah.
You won't need it.
Oh no.
there goes Neil again.
just falls apart.
Neil just
Understand why I have to
collapses.
fall
For
apart.
those of you wondering, Neil will still be employed when that happens.
gonna melt.
You know,
This is sick. I like it.
Yeah.
you know.
Neil, where you going, bro?
Oh, he's pulling
he's
on us.
collapsed.
That's right.
I want to go back to Italy. Actually.
Apparently, I'm collapsing.
Ian
I wanna go back
Ganther,
to
I
Italy.
was
Yeah.
Bitcoin, but then I switched it to Netflix.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't get paid enough right now, so I'm going to get off this, and then you guys will be back at 2.
We appreciate you guys
Good
coming
time.
on, man.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Ian Ganther, I was
Joseph, I just want to cover this
Go ahead.
quickly.
Go ahead.
Oh, baby, we are caught in yet another uphaul here.
Let's
Joseph
go.
Wilson.
Oh, what a face slapper.
That's a
you
good
got
one.
going
That's
on,
not a
man.
bad one right there.
Way to dig out
All
there,
right.
man.
Adara, what do you think about this trade right here?
That's awesome. Congratulations. That's a next level trade, pun intended, based on that ticker. But also, I want to let you guys know, market continuing to chop. Caroline Levitt just took the podium for this press conference. I'll keep you guys posted if anything of note is said here. Again, we never really know, but it's always worth keeping an eye on just in case. Back to you.
Pick. How about that? There we go. My bad.
Yeah, let's ask.
Andre? Oh!
If you could buy any stock.
Here we go. We want
What
to
are
hear
you
what
buying?
Assassino wants to buy.
And it can't be Brazilian.
Why not? What if he wants to buy Embriar?
No, listen.
Why, bro?
No, we're
Can I say
confined to
Embraer? Because Embraer is Brazilian ticker.
What are these rules?
I don't make the rules.
Andre, come in hot.
Can't I say Embraer? Because Embraer is Brazilian.
Yes, Andre, that's exactly what I'm going to say. Embriar, the airplane company.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes, Andre.
All right. Here we go.
That's what I want to hear,
Fabian,
man.
we're
This
listening.
is live, Marcos Morales. Yes, absolutely. We're doing it freaking live, all right?
Yeah.
Guys, I just want to show this real quick.
Go ahead.
We are halted to the upside again on NX double T. I just wet the beak there at 80s. Guys, we're showing a tap of 198. Oh, baby. All right, so we'll have to wait and see. We know the theoretical auction price, a.k.a. the tap, is a fluctuating level, but we did halt, ladies and gentlemen, at 111.09. It is 1:15. Tell you exactly the time right now. 1:15:25. So we are slated to open at 1:16:09. If it is going to be a 5-minute halt, No rule that says it has to be 5 minutes, but we get them in increments of 5. If you're new to volatility halts, they come in waves of 5 minute, 10 minute, 15 minute, and we never know what they're gonna be until that level is passed, AKA doesn't open up after 5 minutes. Currently showing me the theoretical auction price, Joseph Wilson, at 195, so about 3 pennies lower than when we last reported. Let's see if we can get the beak wet there.
Yeah, good luck there, brother. Yeah, let's go in, guys. Marcus Morales, man. Yeah, are we doing it live is a great question. Great question.
We are, baby.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, guys, here we go. I'm not in anything right now. Nice bounce here off of Bitcoin. Driving right back towards the volume weighted average price. So there you go. Nice recovery here. We have some resistance, as you can see. Multiple touches. This pre-market support level coming into play, and throughout the intraday session, you can see that. Nice. Show them. Pull up that chart one more time.
It's going, Joseph.
Let's go.
I just took out the high of the day halt right there. I got filled at 209s. We're gonna halt again, Joseph, at 209s right now. It looks like we're gonna halt 208. Excuse me, not 209s. 570%, guys. I've got one more out left on this monster. Let's see if this one continues to go.
Look at
what
those
a look.
outages.
It's not a bad look. Yeah, that's look. It's definitely not the same size Katina Man is taking. There's no question about that.
This isn't
but
doing it any justice. Pull up the 1 minute. What made you? I started realizing as of late you've transitioned from charting on the 5 to executing on the 5 now.
Yeah, you're actually absolutely right. I don't know why I made that transition, but the black charts were always the 5.
Yeah.
So I started absorbing the information better on the black chart. I'm like, why am I gonna confuse myself? Exactly.
On the lower time.
Yeah. So I've been charting exclusively on the 5 and executing on the 5.
Zoom in a little bit on that one there too.
It's not a bad. Oh, what? This?
Yeah. Zoom in on there. Hit that one.
Oh,
right
yeah. It's not a bad look there, man. We got top of day right now. Joseph, we're showing a tap at 230, man. This thing is on one, Joseph. It is flying to the high side. We could get a quadruple digit winner today.
Flip it, man.
We'll see. Yeah, what do you got, my man?
So, yeah, it's the same stuff, man. I'm just sitting on my hands right now. I mean, it's Friday. We've been locking in profits left, right, and center. I haven't hit this in so long. Today is one of those, man. It's an absolute money storm. Go check out my X. I posted. You could see the unrealized. You can see the realized there from my personal swing that I tell you guys about there. So go check that on X, guys. I was telling you about it for 2 weeks now. What we've done on that front, locking in some gains. I know everybody's excited, but at that point, it's time to start locking in some profits, and that's exactly what we did there, guys. So good look. How's our Playmaker poll doing? I haven't looked at it just yet. We'll touch on
564.11.
There we go. So we got some more stuff that we can dig into here. I like the way Tesla's looking. One thing to know, we got this nice consolidation phase here, guys. If we crack that low, then maybe we get a little bit more downside and head towards this opening price right here. We can pull up the options chain to see if we have any high levels of open interest, because I believe that's going to be very important to see why Tesla stalled out. Oh, yes, that's exactly why I remember here now. So 305 has a lot of OI there, 27,000, 27.2 thousand open contracts right at that 305 strike price. We squeeze a little bit higher than that, but then you want to go up to 310, and then we have another 23,000 there on that front there, guys. So there you go. Nice rejection over to these levels, trading around 279.99. But the highest level of OI on this week's expiration is that 300. So the hedgies or the fund managers are back on side of those short calls. So there you go. If those expire worthless, that's going to be a positive sign, and they don't want to be caught offside. And I was referring to Nvidia, those high levels of OI through the 119, 120 strike price. Let's see how those roll over to next week. We're going to document that to see if it's continuously lifted, and if it has, then we might be able to see some more topside in the overall market here, especially if NVDA decides that it wants to continue to climb. But if those large amounts of OI start to decrease and decrement on the strike price, then maybe we might find some more ceilings in those teens as well. But we want to see those lifted into the 20s, 21, 22, 23, 24, etc. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Come Monday morning, as soon as that market opens, we're gonna gauge where those high concentrations of open interest are, Sharif.
All right, guys. Great question by Cristobal there, and not Walter. Walter was asking about something else. Farm Trader. How do you spot micro pullbacks? Well, one of the small cap traders uses the 10-second chart. I personally don't do that. I know that people do it successfully. I just use a level 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull up the chart here, NXTT, excuse me, and then we're going to flip to the 10. All right, so when this opens up, we'll have a better look. So the 10-second chart, Obviously, you're not really trying to chart anything on the 10-second chart. What you're looking for is the bottom of the selling and then the aggressive move up. That's really what the micro pullbacks are. But you can use the level 2 to spot it anyway. What do I mean by micro pullbacks? I've mentioned this before, but I think, there's a lot of others that want to hear. But so when these small cap gappers are moving parabolic, they don't move just in a straight line and then end up at the high and then just chill at the high. Right? They're moving up, and then there's obviously profit taking or short sellers getting involved or whatever the situation is. There's a pullback. But you're really looking for two things together. An aggressive move, like very aggressive in price. Correspondingly, you're looking at the time in sales, and you want to see just a flood of orders coming in. Most preferably, you'd like to see buy orders. Now, what I've done on my level 2 is I've color-coded them. So that's on the very left of your screen there. All those sell orders are coming in, obviously, because we're about to halt. So nobody can really get it. You got to get out, right? So what I'm looking for there on my level, on my time in sales, is green and orange. Green means people are buying at the ask. Orange means people are buying above the ask. So if I see waves of that coming in and aggressive moves to the high side, then I know we're on a breakout. That's step number 1. Step number 2 is to wait for that pullback. But how deep? Right? You don't want to give up like $1, but what you're looking for is regular profit taking on the way up. For example, when this one was exploding from $1.80 to 200, we didn't just go up. It went into about 200 from $1.80 to $2 is what I meant to say. It didn't just go up there in a straight line. It dropped all the way back into low 190s. That's your buy. That's your buy there. Now, it's almost impossible to tell whether that's going to be a reversal or a micro pullback. The only way you really have the advantage or so what's going on?
Yeah, oh, there we go, bang.
Tesla's going crazy. Apparently, Katina Man said, let me just have a look here quickly to see what the hell is going on. Yeah, that was a volatility spike up to 298 and a quarter, and now it's back down. It's really moving here. Something's going on with TSLA. I don't have anything on my blotter, but as soon as Adara finds out, she will let us know. You got it, Adara, or no? No, she doesn't. So we're going to continue to wait on that, guys. Something just happened there with TSLA, so we'll keep an eye out on that. Sorry to kind of interrupt there. But yeah, so what I meant to say about the micro pullbacks is basically that's what you're looking for. That big, huge breakout, a little bit of a pullback, not obviously the entire move, and then you're buying it up for that move up. So you're able to identify that here when we see that kind of micro pullback and then the explosion to the high side. Adara, what's up?
So I'm not really sure if this is why, but there was just a question here about this 80% number that Trump put out today on Truth Social. Of course, this question was directed to White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, who's holding her briefing. She said that the 80% number, and I'm slightly paraphrasing here, was a number that Trump came up with. So not a lot of explanation as to why this number happened. She's currently being asked now about why the UK and the US announced their trade deal before it had been finalized. Trump even said himself it's not yet been finalized. They're going to finalize the details in the coming weeks. But Caroline Leavitt basically said that that the deal is more or less finalized. So we'll have to wait and see on that. Though I think probably the thing that led to that volatility spike, though, and I'm seeing more comments come through because it's hard to hear everything as it's coming out. Caroline Leavitt saying here that Trump will not unilaterally bring down tariffs on China, but the 80% is just a number that he threw out there. So just to reiterate, looks like that might have been why we got that little move around here on the market, guys. Back to you.
Great there. Thank you, Adara, for that. Yeah, we all know how Donald Trump is, guys. You know, he's going to spit lines, and you're not going to... Yeah, I'm ready to go. All right, guys, we'll talk a little bit about that. In sports playing, Andre, flexibility is everything. And at ProfitX, you can see the order book just like a financial exchange. You pick your spots and you customize the odds to fit your risk. Why would you settle for a single offered price when you can see and you can set your own? Plus, our mobile interface makes it easy to play on the go. ProfitX, baby, where you call the shots anytime, anywhere. So users and viewers of Trader TV, you can use code, you guessed it, Trader TV to get our sign-up offer and get that 2% cash back up to $300. Shout out to the great folks there at ProfitX. And you guys already know, if you're a viewer of the show, the Katina and the Neil, they've been using ProfitX for a while. They've been putting on trades, bets, on that. So obviously we're now in playoff season, both for the NBA and the NHL. Oh, perfect segue.
No, you know what though?
Are they going to lose tonight, Joe?
No. Listen.
Where's Patty?
Listen.
Patty's probably watching.
No. Hear me out.
Yeah.
I remember Katina Man and I having this conversation, and he said to me,
"What'd he say?"
Exactly. I remember this, Katina Man. He said to me one morning we walk in. He's like, "It doesn't matter what happens. The Leafs are going to lose to Florida anyway."
Oh.
I remember you saying that. Yeah. But now they're looking good, right? So I mean, listen. You can call us bandwagoners, whatever you want. We've loved this team for a long time. The longest drought in the NHL. We're just trying to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Not like a hopeless. We're just like, okay, because we've had so many years of failing, we're it's almost inevitable that we're going to fail again, right? Just history repeats itself until it doesn't. And then here we go. And this is what we're looking for. I don't think I would ever have guessed that they would have been up 2-0 on Florida.
No.
So they're looking really good. If they can steal one in the Sunshine State, then we're looking really, really good on that.
I like it, bro. I like the vibe, bro. Look, the deal is that I think we take 1-2 in Florida. We come back.
Then the series is over.
It's over, and then we got 2 games. No, we'll have.
It goes 1-1.
1-1 after the first 2-2, 1-1-1. Right? Yeah. Okay, so then I think we take 1 of 2 there, come back home 3-1. Whether or not we win it or go back there and win it ends up being either 4-1 or 4-2. I think so.
I'm betting that. I think it might go 6 or 7. I think maybe
6 or 7.
Yeah, it depends.
7, that's deep.
Yeah, that's scary too. I think if it goes 7, then the odds are in Florida's favor. And again, anything can happen. If they happen to steal the first game in Florida and go up 3-0. Then I'll
might
give
be
Florida
over,
the next one, and then by the
yeah.
time we come home, I think we close it out at that point.
I didn't like giving back to Ottawa.
No.
I didn't like that. I don't want to see that again.
No, you don't want to see that.
I mean?
You don't want to see that again.
Yeah.
I mean, Florida's a significantly better team, so
they
I wouldn't be surprised, right? Like anything can happen. I'm looking forward to this game tonight. Oh, it is tonight, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah.
I thought they would put it on Saturday, to be honest. I'm kind of surprised about that because the biggest market. Biggest hockey market, Toronto. Why on Saturday night? It didn't make sense to me. Maybe because it's the Florida game.
Maybe.
And so whatever that.
To do with that form of scheduling. I know if they're. I mean, they got home ice advantage as well too. So maybe something that had.
They have home ice. They don't. We do.
No, we do. Yeah,
we do. Yeah.
That's my friend. We have home ice advantage. So
okay, awesome.
We get our primetime slot, but we didn't. But yeah, go Leafs, go.
Bang.
Let's get back into these markets here, guys. Oh, and UFC this week too. So go check out ProfitX. Boring Bilal is fighting. So yeah, we'll
Boring Bilal?
Yeah.
Is he actually boring?
He's mad boring. He's mad boring.
But he's really
good.
That was his name or something.
His name is actually Remember the Name. So it's like, yeah, right? And it's like, all right.
Delusional?
Bro, yeah, he's super
Is his middle name Delusional?
Almost. That's what people call him. Seriously, he's like delusional. But I mean, he's going on his first title defense. He looked great. His striking's picked up. He's a phenomenal wrestler, and he's in great shape, but he just never.
Is he from Dagestan?
No, he's Palestinian. He's
Palestinian? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So he's Palestinian.
Guys, we're waiting for a really long halt here. It looks like it will be a 15-minute halt on your friend NXTT. So as I mentioned, the halt time, 1:16:41. It is now 1:29. So we're past 10 minutes. And as I mentioned, we get them in increments of 5. So the first we can open up, you add 15 onto 16. What do you get? 31s. All right, so we're waiting on this one. Let's see if it opens up at 15 minutes. So I'm going to pack my patience here. The theoretical auction price, in my humble submission to you guys, will continue to go down the longer we're halted. People will start putting these market on open sell orders or limit on open sell orders to get the hell out of there because they're getting a little antsy, right? All of a sudden you can't weasel out of your position. Let me just get out of here. I don't need the headache. So what I've been watching on the top, the theoretical auction price since we've been halted was at high 60s, and now we were down at 55s. Now we're moving back up to 60. So maybe the top starts moving up again as we get closer to that 15-minute look right now. So NXTT up 571%, halted to the upside right now at $2.08, showing me a theoretical auction price, which means the price that it will open up at, if that is to be right now, at $2.58. So that's what I'm keeping my eye there. Manuel Palma, 2 to 3 years in Dagestan. LOL. I don't know what that means, brother. Like, I mean,
Oh, so the
is that a running joke?
Yeah, the running joke is like if you just send your kid to
I've heard about this
for a little
before.
while,
Yeah,
they'll come back
my
like
bad.
a sick wrestler,
Yeah,
right?
People out of there are just ridiculous.
Yeah, they're different. They're built
good.
different. You know
What's
what I
going
mean?
on?
Yeah,
bro?
it's the culture.
That's what I'm figuring. It's got to be
it's
something.
It's
like
the culture
that, right?
thing now that, like, I guess there's obviously Dagestani fighters before, but what Habib had done is just like, okay, now everybody wants to be UFC champion. They're all about wrestling. And have you seen their Dagestani basketball?
What?
No, it's insane.
They
dude.
foul each other like crazy?
Yo, it's literally wrestling moves. Like, if you go up for any form of layup, they can just pick you up, slam you on the ground. And like,
why don't we have that basketball anyway?
Absolutely insane, Dagestani.
All right, we are open. We're going to get out over here. Here we are. We're just going to flatten out right there, man.
Nice.
It was going to halt to the downside, Joseph, so got the hell out. I tried to put it for mid-50s, but there we go. It's all over on this trade. Yeah, not a bad look over here. Good look. We'll flip back to the 5 on this one. So NXTT up big, guys. 667.75%, halted down, okay? It is halted down now at 238 with the theoretical auction price showing 234. I'll submit to you, though, that there is a great likelihood that we fill the gap that appears on your screen that is between $2.08 where we halted previously to the upside and $2.38 that we're halted right now. Most of the time, that gap will get filled, even if it is a momentary fill. I'm really talking about like a quick wick into there, and then right back up it goes. You might have a lot of buyers in that low end of the range. I've done that myself. In fact, I will do that. So I will set up an order for a dip into the mid-teens, 215, 210, 212, whatever, 217, with the ultimate out being a breach of 2 or a halt parameter triggering. I'll get the hell out of there, okay? So that's what we're going to do right now. We halted this last time, Joseph, 131.26, okay? So I'm not saying we're going to open up in 5 minutes. I have no idea. But if we are to open up, it'll be at 136.26, okay? So I'm going to be very interested in picking up something to the lower end of this gap right here. Again, the mid-teens is what I'm looking at, right? So I'm looking right now for this one. Keep my eye on it. What do you got there, Joseph?
Yeah, good luck, guys. I'm still sitting on my hands here. There was another re-entry on DKNG. I missed it here. If you can see on this 5-minute time frame, guys, just holding that trend relatively well, and then you get that indecision print, and then a nice move all the way up to the volume-weighted average price. So it is what it is. We'll wait for the next trade to see if anything sets up. I was thinking about buying some TSLS, just being short Tesla from here for that move down, but we're going to be a little bit patient on that front. But I think there could be a good short there. But yeah, here we go. DraftKings continuing to just absolutely dominate here, guys. Up 3.5% on the session. So yeah, good look here on DKNG. What are you guys looking at? You want me to go over straight up like a hockey stick, says Crystal Ball? Okay. Yeah. George Fontes, I think a little bit of a stretch there, my friend. You know what I mean? I think Tampa Bay was the lesser Florida team. Sorry, I'm just being honest, right? Being frank. You don't want me to lie to you, do you? But yeah, guys, if you want me to take a look at anything, just put it in the chat. We'll go over some names, options chain, technicals. We'll do some of that here because it is Friday. So we're just having a good time, locking in profits, just printing up money as well, too. I'm not saying anything. Lock it in, says Katina, man. He's going for a nice little gander right now as well, too, before he hops on. So shout out Katina, looking fresh and fly as always. Got the shades on. Just things that we do, man. You say, hold on, I don't know. Actually, no, I can't do it now. I'm going to put on the blazer for you guys, but yeah, the blazer. Oh, Neil's in. Neil's in on the blazer. Bring it up over to...
Wearing the blazer. No, I'm not wearing the blazer, but I gotta say, like, for those that don't know, like, Joe is like every single day, Joey Options just steps his thread game up, higher and higher. And Obi's pretty tight with it too, but I gotta say, right now, the fashion maven over here has to be Joey Options. So big shout out to you on that one. Me, you're probably not gonna see me in a blazer, because that's not how I roll. Sometimes I put a sweater on because it's too damn cold in here, and I'm never getting on Joe for complaining about the heat or how cold it is. Because if there's one thing that's true on this studio, it is either too hot or too cold, and that's just how it is. Yeah. Unfortunately, this market is neither right now.
Ooh.
Like
we're sideways.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like there's like we're flat on the day. The Nasdaq's like slightly down. We're trending down. We haven't really had too many crazy headlines or anything like that. It's a Friday. So I think this is one where just wait for some key levels. You got to be a little bit patient with it. And when we break one way or another, that's when you can start to get going. It's been one of those Fridays, I think.
Yep.
For sure.
Agreed.
And we'll see. You never really know. We're like one headline away from all that reversing, right?
Yeah. Fantastic stuff. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that front, Neil. It's just one of those Fridays where you see the volume just kind of start to fall off a cliff here in the latter half of the day. I mean, we had a little volatility spike, but the VIX, it's not doing too much here. So, all right, guys, let's go through some of these names that you mentioned. I can't go through all of them all the time, but someone says Max Payne on the Qs. I like that. We're going to take a look on that front for you guys to see what we got going on in today's expiration cycle. And we're just, what is Max Payne? The highest levels of open interest on the call and the put side. So we're going to scrolly-woly all the way up to that highest level. And the max pain is going to be right at 500. We're not going to get anywhere close today, so that would have been max pain on the call side. We're going to go down to the put side before we send it off to what ad are we doing here?
I got it.
Okay, you got it. Okay, you got it. Okay, cool. Max pain to the downside, 450. Or no, sorry, 465 there, guys. 465 and actually no, 470 and I already forgot there, 490 or something like 500, sorry, we'll call it. There we go, 460, 500, max pain call and put side there on the Qs. Sure.
Ozan, listen up, baby. New traders, listen up. First month, it's free. That's right, we're waiving the fees. You get to trade smarter, not harder, by upgrading to that elite experience where you'll be able to analyze, strategize, and then hopefully after all that, you'll capitalize on their platform that has everything. Infinite data, instant trading, lightning fast market insights, and game-changing charts. And you get to predict better with that awesome backtesting tool that they've got. It's reliable, real-time data, and global market literally at your fingertips. It's all in one platform, so do not miss out. Execute your best trades now. If and only if you're ready to elevate your trading, scan that QR code or check the link in the description of the video. Shout out to the great folks there at eSignal. Tariff trumps? What's happening here?
Trump slump, man.
Neil's pumped.
Tariff Trump slump.
Tariff Trump's slump TTS.
Let's go.
All right. He's dropping cash in the chat, Joseph.
Damn.
Everything comes to he who waits. And I have waited so very long for this moment. Sharif, Skeletor, say less, my friend.
By the power of Grayskull.
I don't know this.
Bro, that's so good, man. Oh my God, I always get goosebumps every time that plays.
Get it,
Get
Trump
goosebumps?
tariff slump.
Thank you,
I
Adara.
told you guys, I don't.
We got to take off the Trump thing, though, for Adara, because sometimes she chimes in, and there's nothing, Donald's not doing
It
anything.
gets a little confusing for me, too.
Say that again, Adara?
Sometimes that Trump's talking. No, I'm joking. But
There we go.
But I do like when you show up. Hey, there we go. So, Assassino, show everybody what's happening back there. It's end of an era, man. It's the end of an era, Fabian, because quite frankly, all the trading computers are gone. Shout out to Michael. That's Michael back there Hey, Michael, wave to the camera. Hey, there's my guy.
Let's go.
I practice Mandarin with him. He's awesome. And there's a bridge. That's where the managers sit right there with a cowboy hat on top of those 4 monitors. But as you can see, guys, it's all going. It's the end of an era here. Randy! There's my guy. He's putting in work today, man. Randy's putting in work. So is Mark. So is Rob. Obviously, Michael's killing it as well. And that wall there, go a little bit to the right, Assassino.
Can't tell him, man. Don't leave.
No, I won't tell him. I won't tell him what's going to go there, but that wall's coming down.
Ooh.
That wall's going down, down, baby.
No straight in.
Yeah, rest in peace, computers. I see there. But it's going to be big things, guys. So obviously, I'm a little, I don't like change. I'm a very homeostasis type person. And we're about to put Fabian live. Okay, I know what you're doing, Chilean Nightmare. I have an idea.
Going BTS, no?
Oh, hey, how are you? How's the work going? Work's going, yeah, he's not mic'd up, so he knows the
Mic'd
drill.
up, you know what's
I
up.
appreciate that. Look at this guy. It's going? This guy putting in work, man. Putting in work. 3 years. That's how long I've been here. Shout out to my man, Randy. Yeah, May 7th,
May 7th.
2022.
Is that
First
today?
day, I sat right there on Adair's computer, then Patty's, and then there's a bunch of other people that sat on that computer as well.
Today's the 7th?
No, 2 days ago.
Oh, well, why didn't you say anything? We could have celebrated.
It's okay. Not a big deal. Oh, here he goes. Oh, he's moving quick there. I thought someone was happy. Charlie, what's the timing look like on switching to the new setup? Charlie, brother, we're talking October-ish. There were some very optimistic timelines, put it that way.
Elon timelines.
Yeah, there were delusional timelines.
Yeah,
like end of June, Elon timelines. I didn't hear that. That's fantastic. It's exactly what it was. Definitely not there. It's going to be a step-by-step thing, man. There's a lot changing, both on the other side where that wall is right there, where the TV is. That's coming down. Can't tell you what's going to be there, but it's going to be big. Bigly, exactly. Gorev, can't wait to see the new setup. Gorev, when you're in Toronto, we'll give you a tour, brother. You just let us know when. Hit up your boy Joseph on X. Hit me up on here. You know the drill.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to OG Gorev on the blockchain, Joseph. Your trading floor is now a production studio. Y'all made it with the YouTube game on the blockchain, spitting facts. But it's, you know how this is on the blockchain. It's just like, it's like CrossFit. It's like your EMOMs or your MRAPs. It's never good enough. You can always do a little bit better, right? And that's the situation. You can always get that extra rep, or you can always do that little bit more at the end. So thank you for that. I honestly, I love working here, man. I'm telling you, 3 years already, and it's been super fast. Bovin, NVVE, moving again. I see it, Bovin. I still don't like that lower high. It's going to have to take out 333, Bovin, and then we can have a conversation, because those lower highs are displeasing me very greatly. Yeah, that's the situation there. Brenrex, NWV again. I see it, sir. KC France, Sharif, Joseph. We want Arun. We want Max. We want Luca. We want Tony. We want Brad. We want Miss V. He wants everybody that was in the old school.
Okay, yeah, that's.
Well, there you go. Look at the screen, baby. That is a Chilean nightmare right there.
He's live.
Yeah, he's live. He's doing it live. Look at that. Look at that. You're getting it live. Hey, there's your boy. There's your boy.
BTS.
I love it. Fabian, you're doing that obviously on Wi-Fi, but what app are you using in that? That's pretty cool.
I can tell you right now, that is not an iPhone.
That's not an iPhone. We know how Fabian feels about Apple, right?
There we go.
There's Mark there.
BTS.
There's the empty space right there, bro. All those computers are gone, man. That last row right there that you guys see, so that's where Brendo works. That's where Adara works right there. That's where Ramin works as well. So we've got to keep that. We got to keep that.
We lost him.
It's okay. I think he cut it right there.
We lost you there, Fabian.
Yeah, and another stock father. Let's not forget Mark Roberts. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we get back from Adair.
So I want to let you guys know here, we do have the end of this White House press conference by Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. She didn't say much market moving, though. As I mentioned earlier, a few comments were made about the situation with regards to Trump's post about 80% tariffs in China. She said that that's not what Trump said. It is what he posted on X, but either way, Truth Social, either way, there seems like a little bit of confusion as to Trump's intention with regards to his 80% tariff potentially on China. She basically said this was a number that he threw out there, and then that he didn't say it. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there with regards to Trump's feelings on the China tariffs. That's pretty much the only market-related or interesting thing that was said there today, guys. Back to you.
Thank you. All right, guys, Sharif, we're getting a real big pump up here in the market. I was just thinking about shorting some Bitcoin here with this indecision print right above the volume-weighted average price. So if we crack that, then maybe thesis invalid. But if we kick it to the downside, then there might be a trade there for us there, guys. But I mean, we don't want to be going counter trend to the NAS right now, considering we're just tapping into the volume-weighted average price in Tesla, breaking through that resistance zone in the consolidation phase, now heading back into 299.70 on that front there, guys. So be patient. If we don't crack it, it's looking pretty good for a short on IBIT here. So that's what I'm going to do, Sharif. I'm going to hold my horses on this front, see if that comes into play. But if the NASDAQ continues to climb, that volume started to step in, so that can classify as a genuine breakout here. Now we just need it to be sustained and continue to move higher and higher. All right, we got another $2 from chat, Sharif. Next is halted for the 4th time verdict.
Mubtasim. I know what your name means, man. It means you're smiling. Shout out to my man Mubtasim. What's your last name? I can't even see it there. I got to click on, I'm going to answer your question in a second. Mubtasim. That one I'm not as good at. Your last name is a little bit Kaushar. Kaushar, but I know what your first name means. So Mubtasim, here's what we're doing, brother. Remember when I talked about the gap fills on these areas where it opens up way higher than it halted? So that's a gap area. It's an intraday gap area, obviously. I'm of the opinion, I still am of the opinion, there is a very high likelihood that that gap gets filled intraday, even if it is super, super quick. And that's what we're doing right now. We're dropping down into that 2.25. I'm going to be a buyer here in the mid-teens. The halt level that we gapped or that we stayed closed for about 10 or 15 minutes at was 208. So I'd like to pick up something 11, 12, 13, 14, something like that for the gap fill. My out will be the breach of like high 190s, 198, 195, something like that, okay? Just to give it a little bit room below $2. So that's what I'm thinking right now. NXTT halted to the downside again. High a day, 255, currently halted at 225, showing me a theoretical auction price of $2.06. Now, does that gap end up holding? It may not hold, but at least you will have an opportunity to get the print and then get out. What I mean by that is, so you'll get, this is what I have observed before, you get a wick down to fill the gap. We're already filling part of the gap right now. We haven't filled the entire gap. Halted at 225, the previous level is 08. So we already have a bit of a variance. So you might get a wick right into that mid-teen, low-teen, whatever high single-digit area, and then you get popped back up. But that's where you want to get out. That's where I would get out. I wouldn't be there holding it against the trend. The trend is down. You'll get a wick right back up. And that you got to be super quick on the keys. Either you're going to have your resting orders there for profit taking or your shortcuts or whatever you do over there, but make sure you're going to be quick with it because the gap fill may be super transient, super momentary, okay? So make sure you're careful with that. Just to apprise everybody about the situation, we halted at 142.06. The current time is 147.33. So we're looking to open up at around so this is going to be it's going to be more than a 5-minute halt then, okay? Because we're already past 5 minutes. All right, so we're going to have to wait here more than 5 minutes likely. It will be likely at least a 10 to 15-minute halt. We'll see what we get. As I've mentioned before, the longer the halts go on, the theoretical auction price continues to drop. So I'm going to pack my patience. There's about 13 minutes left on the show. I think that's plenty of time to be able to execute on this trade. I don't plan on staying in it for all that much. Shazah 14. Sharif, Netflix has Masters of the Universe cartoon. It's lit. All right, cool. I mean, I don't really watch cartoons, and I don't even know what that is, but I'm going to search it because you told me. Let's do it live here, Joseph. Bring it up on
Masters of the Universe?
I have no idea what that is. Oh, is that what what it is?
That's what he said.
Oh, I didn't know that. Masters of the Universe. No way. Okay, 87. Okay. Was it a cartoon? It's a because here it says it's a movie. Interesting. Okay. And there's a 2026 one as well. Okay. All right. I didn't know this. I forgot completely that they were Masters of the Universe because there was like, there's more, right? Hold on. Who are the characters in this, Joseph? Let's find out over here. So it's He-Man, She-Ra, who else? Do we have the names of the, there we go. So we got He-Man. We got She-Ra. I don't know who this UK Maltu guy is. He-Man Adventures magazine. These are magazines, Joseph. These aren't even the characters. Yeah, I'll have to look at this after, but...
You have to look at that after, yeah.
Yeah, what do you got over there?
I'm short some Bitcoin, but it might not work out as the market continues to climb higher. Nice breakout there on Tesla, missed opportunity, but you can see that we're getting some pinning type price action on Nvidia. We don't want to climb any higher right now, so we're going to want to see that volume start to step in and break through some of these resistance zones in order for us to continue to move this, sustain this move, I should say. So you can see that Tesla's moving higher, the Qs are breaking higher, and then now we just have Nvidia consolidating. We're slowly starting to curl over, which is a positive sign. But you can see these higher lows, which is positive, and then just this flat top. But again, to break through, we need that volume to step in. All right, Joseph, I know you are too because your long term is in IBIT. I think, you're 100% right. I'm definitely a Bitcoin bull. And I'll remain one until it tells me not. So unless everything blows up. All right, I'm going to have to hop out of this Bitcoin trade. I told you I had a tight stop on it. and I'm shorting kind of the market as it continues to climb, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to fight the trend. And I'm on a really small size anyway, still nicely green on the session, so we want to keep that. We only got about 10 minutes left here, so we don't want to ruin our Friday anyways. And I'm going to relay that to you guys as well. If you've had a good Friday, right, volume's going to start to cool off, whether you're locking in some profits on a swing or intraday, whatever it may be. Just chill out. Don't ruin it. You don't want to go into the weekend with bad vibes. Especially if you're in Toronto, it's going to be good, nice sunny weekend. So maybe we'll get some rollerblading in as well on the strip. So, but yeah, guys, Tesla, nice move now above the volume weighted average price. You can see here on the 5-minute time frame that the volume is starting to pick up. So there you go, stair step higher, break through some key levels with that volume supporting the move. Now wait for this pullback. You might get the retest of this zone. And if it's going to be a good day, a trending day, then you might get a little bit of a continuation here on TSLA, Sharif.
All right, man, we're short Apple right now at 63s. I just wet the beak there into 50s, taking out a couple of beak wetters. Yeah, I'm going to continue to short this. The only reason I'm short Apple at these levels, guys, is because it got into the volume weighted average price and it rejected again. And it's done that every single time on the day today. Apple into VWAP equals rejection on the day. So we're already out of the majority of the position. Just looking to scalp here basically and just put on a couple of quick trades as we wind down the show. I'll submit to you though, the money fills on Apple are likely to be a couple of shekels above VWAP. So I still have one here in the low 80s to add because my observation of the VWAP retracements on Apple on the day there's been a wick that breaches VWAP likely just to push people out and then have it move back across the merry way. So I've only got one out left. I'll let this go against me. I'll let that 80 something trigger. Otherwise, I'll take it in the 30s. Simple as that. We're going to wait for a short on the dead one, Apple. Yeah, I don't usually trade these large caps, obviously, but I just looked over at AAPL, Joseph, and every single time, man, it moves into VWAP, Joseph. It is rejecting. Let's show the people what I'm talking about there. Where's the dead one? There it is, as dead as can be. Once, twice,
damn,
Obi, thrice. So all the retracements into your friend Apple have been rejected. Obviously, it doesn't please me to be shorting Apple. I'm quite biased to the long side, as you may know, but that's the situation. So we'll take that and we'll just run with it, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
The stash is on fire, Sebastian. I don't know about that. It's kind of like a year old now, man.
Damn.
It's been a year.
Yeah.
Can you believe it, Adara? It was like a little bit before my birthday, I think, last time.
I remember when I didn't even notice it at first, and then all of a sudden I realized, oh, there's a mustache, and it just appeared.
But can I say something to you? You're usually quite observant, but also when I shaved my beard, it took you a little bit of time.
Yeah.
But we didn't know each other that much at the time.
Yeah, no, I'm really bad at facial hair. I didn't even notice the beard, and Brendan was like, how did you not notice the beard? And I was like, that's fair. But yeah, I will go close the door like Jerome Powell.
Boom. Shut the door right on us. I love it.
What led to the stash, though? I'm curious.
I don't know, bro. I got bored of the beard, and it was a lot of maintenance, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And then I didn't really like the look without any facial hair. So what else is there to do? Put a goatee? I ain't putting no goatee.
No goatee.
No.
Even with the little chin.
What is that goatee called without the thing? It's called like
the handlebars there.
Yeah, there's a name for it.
Handlebars.
What's that, Adara? There is a name, but I just can't remember what it is.
So you wouldn't go like thing with the bars here in the chin?
So. I don't know. That's so 90s, bro. Remember everyone was doing that in the early 2000s, late 90s.
Talk to your boy Jalen Hurts there.
This guy's dropping lines against Jalen, huh? Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
bro, I mean, he's a Super Bowl winner, so yeah.
You can have whatever facial hair you'd like at that point there, I guess, there, guys.
Yeah, Christopher. Yeah, they still got the bearded picture still in the chat there. Say that again. Van Dyke, thank you, Assassino. That's the one.
This guy?
I'm telling you, Fabian. Okay, Fabian dropping the information to Assassino, and he's letting us know. Fu Manchu's just caught Tomlinson. You're a joker, dude. I like it. No, I'm pretty sure it's the Van Dyke. Carlos, Senna, Sharif, have them put your Mount Rushmore image again. Bwahahaha. That AI was terrible. Oh, come on, man. Cut the production team some slack, man. Leave them alone.
Bring up Kung Fu Sharif, man. Kung Fu Sharif.
Everybody likes Kung Fu Sharif. John Del Segno. Check the really bullish accumulation on Triple H on the larger time frame. Right. Hunter Hearst Helmsley. I didn't know he was a stock. No, I'm kidding. That was bad. Let's put Triple H. What is Triple H, by the way?
You don't know triple.
Who? The what's it called?
It's
the
time,
game.
It's time to play the game.
Bring it in, Neil.
It's time to play the game.
It's time to play the game. All right, Adara, what's going on up there?
Asking what Triple H is, right? Did I hear that correctly? So Triple H is Howard Hughes. Why is Howard Hughes significant to the point where I'm doing a throw to provide context? Howard Hughes is a company that Bill Ackman has a really weird relationship with, to the point that there's actually a whole X post on TTV Research about it that I'm not going to pull up right now. Basically, Bill Ackman said a while ago that he believes if his group, Pershing Square, does this I guess takeover of HHH or Howard Hughes that they want to, he thinks that he'll be the next Bill Ackman, and then this combined company, sorry, not Bill Ackman, he is Bill Ackman, he'd be the next Warren Buffett, and that this company, their combined group, would be the next Berkshire. So again, kind of a wild, bold claim, but HHH is at the center of it. What's interesting too is he did this attempted takeover. He really wants to get involved in this company, but he actually left the board of said company last year. So really mixed relationship. Don't know if this is interesting to anyone, but I wanted to chime in because I did a deep dive on this previously, and I think it's kind of interesting. Back to you.
Adara, I do appreciate that. Yeah, Benton C also echoing your sentiment there. Ackman stock, Triple H. All right, well, let's look at the technicals now that we've learned a little bit about it, and let's look at Triple H, the game. We just throw in that ticker super quick there, Joseph. I'm sorry, I apologize. There we go. So I like this. It's obviously a bit more expensive. It's got a great looking chart. All the dips in the VWAP have been bought up. That would be my main observation. You get once over here, you get twice, you get OB thrice, and then so many people are looking at the same trade over here that it's being front run, not even working down into that 7 1/3, being bought up in the 7 low 40s. But alas, it still has that same level of 72 and change that it can't shake. And I'll submit to you that even though we get above 72 on a wick basis, it's been a hard road to hoe here to close above 72. One measly candle on the 5 all day has been able to shake that 72 on a closing basis, and look what happens. We're dropping. So clearly a range here with the volume weighted average price really being that support level. But again, that 72 level on a closing basis, hard to close above. Now, if you're looking short, the money fills on your short here would be in the 72 mid-teens. Right? Those are money fills, because then basically you're like taking it all the way down to VWAP. So the way I see this, you can play this the long way or the short way. Support at VWAP, resistance at 72, Joseph.
Yeah, good luck there. Yeah, let's go Tesla, says Katina, man. Continuing to climb higher now north of the volume average price. So he's still long 297.02. All right, so right at the bottom of the range there, or top of the range, I should say.
Katina,
yeah,
man.
So there you go. Continuing to climb. You're going to see him momentarily in what trades he's cooked up on the day. But let's review what we've done on the day here, guys. You can see that we traded this. There you go. This guy got.
You said he's cooking. Yeah, he's cooking, bro.
Cooking,
he's
man.
barbecuing.
I'm cooking, yeah. But see, I'm not gonna get into that anyways. But
what happened? You got barbecue on the weekend?
I'm barbecue 365. It doesn't matter with the temperature out. All right, I'm a barbecue 365 like that. All right, just
killing
cook
me,
under
bro.
fire.
I love your energy, dog. The energy is ridiculous.
I'm 365, but yeah. All right, guys. Trader view. Let's pull up my screen here. So we took our IBA trade here earlier in the morning. We got stopped out, break even on that front. But then we did get this nice move to the top side. But I was hyper focused on DKNG. The Katina man was trading this as well earlier in the morning, and we have kind of similar entries. He was in a little bit lower than me, but you can see that I entered in on this 1 minute hammer. And then as soon as the thesis started to play out, we had the inability to construct a new low a day. So we add to the position, and then we slowly just boom, 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 piece it out. Then I see another potential add here scenario where we have a hammer print right at the volume weighted average price, but it wasn't the one I got stopped out just for using my free roll method. We get stopped out, breakout even right there. And then we enter once again on DKNG, nice hammer print. This is the exact one here. And then we take it all the way up to the higher day, and then I just get stopped out, break even my last little bit. We also take one more stab at it, and this one worked really well for us here. You can see we entered, and then boom, boom, boom. VWAP being the primary target, we get that last bit out, or sorry, the majority out right here. We look for that addition, but again, free roll, and then we get stopped out, break even there. All
right, we're doing it live here on Apple. Short again, 81, just wet the beak at 69, so I added on the break of VWAP. I'm just going to scalp this because, you know, this isn't my cup of tea, but we're caught long again on a halt right now. I got O2s on my friend NXTT. We're halted again to the high side at 217. 217. It's all good. Everything's fine. All right, so I'm the next beak wetter. I'm canceling this beak wetter because I don't know where it's going to go. So right now, halted again to the upside. Again, this is what I talked about, guys. Filling that gap and looking for the money fill within the gap fill. And that's what we got. That's why I'm going long. We'll see how this one ends up doing. Back to AAPL over here. Don't want to hold this one for too long, quite frankly, because the market does look like it's getting a little bit stronger here, Joseph, with some of these Mag 7 names really curling up into VWAP. I'm looking at the future on the side. The NQ June contract is working right up into that volume weighted average price. So let's not overstay our welcome and just get the hell out of there. As I'm seeing Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, Nvidia, all at the volume or above the volume weighted average price. The future just a skosh below the VWAP. The only one that's kind of weak here, Joe, the only two, excuse me, that are kind of weak, your friend Meta and your friend Google, substantially below the volume weighted average price. So a bit of a tougher look there, Joe. So here we are. We're showing the theoretical auction price. We got O2s on, Joseph.
Damn.
And now it's showing me a 187 tap. So the market giveth and it taketh away.
Oh, does it
If this
ever.
opens up here, we're going to be in some trouble, Joseph, as it's going to break down to the downside. We will find out how that cookie crumbles maybe on Monday, because it's overtime now, baby.
Yeah.
Send them off.
Bang. All right, to what my guy Normal Special in the chat said, it's hard, must be hard being somebody else. So there it is, the quote of the day. There's one thing that you can do better than anybody else, and that is be yourself.
Oh.
There you go.
Have a great weekend, guys.
Can't argue with that quote whatsoever. What do you have to wait till Monday for? I'm trying to figure out what we'll see the resolution for on Monday. I thought it was like a small cap runner. I mean, we can track